Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT. You know what? We're not even gonna do the normal introductions. We're gonna quote a movie.
Okay.
You ever seen what Friday?
Yeah.
You know the first one.
What is it?
Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker. What's his name? Chris Tucker, I think it was.
Yeah. What is that?
You got knocked the fuck out. What's going on, Wilder fans? What happened to your boy? I try to tell you guys. Listen, I'm normally a humble guy, but tonight is not a night to be humble. We will not be humble tonight here on True School Sports. We are going to talk, we are going to gloat, and we are going to call out every single one of you Wilder fanboys because I told you, that Wilder would get folded up like a blue steel chair. Now, my pre-fight prediction was a 5th round stoppage for Tyson Fury. I was 2 rounds off, but I was still pretty damn close.
It happened.
And it happened. And, I was telling people we were at the Delray Beach Boxing Club, so shout out to the Delray Beach Boxing Club. And, we had a lot of fun. There were some fighters there, local fighters there.
Yeah, it was a good crowd.
And there were a lot of Wilder fans there. And I remember I was talking to somebody about what I thought would happen. And I said, wow, Fury will stop Wilder in the 5th round. And one of the Wilder fans starts laughing.
Yeah.
And I started telling him, like, you ain't going to be laughing in about 30 minutes. You ain't going to be laughing. So it just goes to show you, my reasoning for the fight, as to why I was picking Fury to win was because Wilder's never been in a dogfight. Deontay Wilder has never won or been in a dogfight his entire career. And you know what? I don't normally give channels clout on my channel. I don't normally call out channels on my channel. But there was a guy in the LDBC. All right. I'm not gonna say. I won't even say his name. I won't say his name. But he's about this tall. He's about this tall, and he's always shouting and yelling. I told him that Deontay Wilder was in a witness protection program for boxing, and he got found out tonight. And exposed. So I'm gonna stop yapping because I know most of you guys probably want to hear this guy talk. Yeah. What did you make of the fight tonight, Pops?
I mean, it was a great fight planned by
Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury, yeah, in Sugar Hill. They came in there. He put a lot of pressure on there. He pressured, he jabbed. He got Wilder in the most awkward position, made him go back on his back, and he's not used to fighting going backwards. And I think he made the fight. He brought the fight to Wilder, but he also made it very awkward for Wilder to go ahead and get adjusted to anything. And you've seen the outcome. Kudos to Fury. Fury, I honestly thought I've had him.
He's the man. Tyson Fury's the man.
Yeah, he's the man. And one thing that I say, you can't. I was like a lot of people. I thought he made a big mistake in changing Ben Davison as his trainer, but in reality, it turned out to be the best thing that
the greatest thing that ever happened to
him. He was actually switching for southpaw while he was practicing, and he was throwing rights, jabbing. He did everything possibly that he didn't do the first fight, but and did it better this time, and that's why he got the win, and that's why he knocked out Deontay Wilder twice. There was no excuse. This guy's been through so much in his life. A lot of people doubted him for whatever reason, and every time somebody doubts him, he proves them wrong.
When the lights shine the brightest, that's when Tyson Fury performs the best.
Yeah, and that's what he did. He did everything what a champion does. But, he took the life out of Wilder.
He beat the piss out of Wilder. Let's call it a spade. Yeah. He beat the piss out of Deontay Wilder. And let's be real. I think we gotta Mark Breland, they threw the towel in because they were worried about his well-being. And you know what? Mm-hmm. They were right to throw the towel in. I was worried about his well-being. Well, Tyson Fury gave Deontay Wilder the kind of beating that's going to alter his career. And you know what? I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to look straight into the camera. And we are now on this channel going to refer to Deontay Wilder as the Black Sergey Kovalev. Because that's what he's become. Yeah. And what I mean by that is Deontay Wilder had this aura of invincibility before this fight. Everybody was scared of him. He was that guy. He was that guy in boxing as far as, knocking guys out, bringing the excitement, skulls to the ground.
With the bomb and all this.
All that stuff. But now Tyson Fury has stripped that from him. Now he's a more vulnerable fighter. He's giving everybody else in boxing the blueprint to beat him. And now his confidence taking hit. So now can he do what Sergey Kovalev did, pick himself up and become a world champion again? We're gonna have to go ahead and see. But you know what, let's slow down here for a second. By the way, if you're just joining us, it's your boy BT with my pops. It is 3:09 in Miami. We were at the Delray Beach Boxing Club, so that's why we weren't live. We still came here to give you guys a live
good news, to tell you what's
give you
going
the good
on.
news. You
The
know,
new WBC.
the new WBC. Sophia went home with him in Paris.
Yes, that's right.
We ain't talking about Paris Fury. We're talking about Paris Fury.
Yeah, so like I said, everybody in UK should be proud of Fury. He came out, he did what he had to do, and he did it in style. He did it in style, and he made sure that there was no controversy.
Zero.
He made sure that he knocked Deontay Wilder out twice, not once but twice, to let you know. Listen, I came the first time, I wasn't in the best shape that I was ever in. You took advantage of it, and I still beat you the first time, even though I didn't get the call. And this time, I definitely made sure that I was going to take you out.
It. Yo, big shout out to my man, Mr. Smurf 459, Johnny Burba, and everybody else here in the chat. So let's kind of backtrack a second and let's go for the fight. So it starts with the weigh-ins. You know, the weight was the big talk of this fight. Tyson Fury came in at 273. Wilder came in at 237. If you guys, for those of you who follow me on Facebook, I was posting a lot today. Right. And one thing I was saying is that, and these are my pre-fight thoughts, and you can actually go look at these. These are documents.
Right.
Tyson Fury was definitely more well equipped to carry his 273 as opposed to Wilder carrying his 237. Because Tyson Fury was 400 plus. What's 273 to him?
Right.
I knew that this was going to be a problem for Wilder. That the speed of his punches were going to decrease, and he wouldn't be the same Wilder. He wouldn't be able to close the gap as quick as we're accustomed to seeing. And and when you factor in the fact that Tyson Fury was pressing him and on the front foot more, you know, that really just added insult to injury. So you know, the weight was a big talk of the fight, and I knew once I saw Wilder 237, I knew the fight was over. I knew the fight was over once I saw him on the scales
before even started.
But you know, we were watching the fight, and I told you the moment I really knew the fight was over was the ring walks. Tell them what I told you about the ring walks. Tell them what I told you about the ring walks.
It's probably one of the best ring walks you've ever seen in boxing that you enjoyed the most. I enjoyed it.
Tyson Fury's ring walk.
Yeah, it came in there like a king. And then he wasn't just dressed up as a king. He was being carried on what's it called? The king throne.
Yeah, on the throne with the crown. He was wearing the crown.
So he was serious. But before even all that, all day BT's been telling me there's something about this fight. Something's gonna happen tonight. I don't know what it is.
I told him somebody's in the air tonight. I don't know what it is.
And he said, I can see something in Fury. And believe it or not, sure enough, BT called it and said there's something. And yes, again. So you gotta be happy for. Like I said, I'm happy for Fury, what he did, how he did it, in the fashion he did it. I will give kudos to Wilder, though. You know, he tried to come back and try to fight. Respect to him too, but you know, tonight is Fury's night.
My man Mike from Boston, I know he's a big Wilder guy. He came here and said, "You must be so happy Wilder lost. Now you get to trash him." Well, to be honest with you, listen.
No, I
like Wilder. I like Wilder, and I'm going into all the Wilder fans because for year after year after year after year, and you know we're going to be unfiltered here on True School Sports. So listen, there might be somebody watching me that might not like what I'm about to say, but year after year after year, you fucks care on my channel, video after video, telling me about I don't know shit about boxing, and then I go on there and I tell you guys. On Facebook, I said it on social media. You know, I said it in some of my lives.
Yeah.
Wilder is going to fold this dude. No, Fury's going to fold Wilder up like a blue steel chair. You said, BT, oh, you're a Fury fan. Well, BT, you're a Fury dick rider. Oh, BT, well, here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are. Here we are. So,
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, talk is cheap. Actions speak louder than words.
Facts.
And Fury came out and let his actions do all the talking for him. And like I said, we're not hating on Deontay. Deontay tried to come back from that. We're hoping.
I admire his heart. Listen,
I mean, Fury he was bleeding from his ear real bad. So I was telling my son, his equilibrium gonna be gone.
Yeah.
And but kudos to all that. He was supposed to be that. I've always said it, and we spoke to the other trainers, and they also told us the same thing. He was once you take that right hand and stick it up his ass.
That's it. He did. For those of you who watch my Stacey McKinley interviews, Fury did what Stacey McKinley's been talking about.
Yeah.
He took the right hand and he stuck it right up his ass.
Yeah.
So there you go.
He had nothing else.
And listen. I like Wilder. I respect him. You know, I know right now, like we just got home, so I haven't even really watched anything on YouTube.
Yeah.
These are my raw, unfiltered emotions and reactions to the fight.
Right.
I don't know what's going on in the LDBC right now, but I'm really interested to see if they're gonna throw Wilder to the side like he's nothing, like he's garbage. Now look, I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna give Wilder respect because I don't hate Wilder at all. I like Wilder. Paid money to watch him fight. I've flown across the country to watch him fight. I got nothing but respect for Wilder. You know, he won tonight. He would have won out if Mark Breland and JD's didn't throw in the towel and do right by their fighter. He would have fought until he got stopped, and that could have been really bad for him because Fury was really hurting. I mean, some of these body shots, he fought like a true Kronk fighter tonight, Tyson Fury.
Yeah, I mean that whole style, bring you reminded of the Kronk fighters from Emmanuel Stewart's days, and rest in peace. And Brendan said it. Brendan said that he's worked with these guys before, so he knows what. I mean, it
wasn't like he was doing a complete change. He had familiarity with Sugar Hill.
And he told me you're gonna see the difference in this fight than what you see with Ben Davison. Nothing against Ben Davison, but I think he did the right decision. So when he came out, started pushing forward, pressure, and making Wilder go back
on the front foot, putting that on intelligent pressure on him, making Wilder how to take these steps back. Because listen, anybody who's watched boxing who knows what they're looking at. Right. Wilder can't fight on the back foot, but the thing is, most of these fighters don't want to even try to make Wilder fight on the back foot because they're so afraid of getting hit with the right hand.
Yeah.
So a lot of these fighters actually, because they're so afraid of his right hand, they've been letting him off the hook.
Yeah.
But Fury knew that and he made the proper adjustments.
One of the biggest adjustments that he did make, he maintained his distance from any time Wilder would throw that right hand. He wasn't close enough to get hit by it like he did in the first fight where he got knocked out. So Fury already knew the plan. I said that before. I said he's going to come into this fight. He already knows how Wilder fights, and him and Sugar Hill exercised the plan to the T.
To the T.
Went forward, went sideways, whatever. He actually exposed Wilder. So it is what it is. Your eyes say it all. So all you guys out there, don't come out making no excuses. Wilder got knocked out twice.
Hey, there's only one Tyson Chicken Nugget says, Pops, now that Wilder lost, you can pound your chest like Luis Ortiz. Bring that out of the time.
There's only one.
There's only one Tyson Fury. Listen.
Yeah,
all right, Dad. So Tyson Fury has now, and anybody who disputes this, I'm sorry. Listen, I like Anthony Joshua. Sometimes I get criticized as being an Anthony Joshua fanboy, but listen, there's no way in hell you can say that Anthony Joshua is the number one heavyweight in the world. This guy, Tyson Fury, he beat Vladimir Klitschko when Vladimir was the man.
Yeah.
Then he fights Deontay Wilder when everybody's talking about Deontay Wilder as if he's the 1986 Mike Tyson, and he just strips him of all the invincibility one time and reduces him into a nothing fighter.
Took his life out of him real quick. Sucked his life right out.
So I ask you the question, Dad: Is Tyson Fury the number one heavyweight in the sport of boxing?
You've got to put him. You right now. You have to put him up there skill wise. You got to put him up there because of what he did tonight. I mean. And one thing what I like about Fury, he steps up and fight anybody. He didn't make excuses or he didn't do that. Like Wilder was doing with the mandatories and everything else. So yes, I would have to make him that for the simple fact he's a lineal champ, whatever. If there's no belt, WBC belt was being held in check for the longest by Wilder. He took care of him. That people thought he wasn't going to be able to do. He beat like I said, Klitschko, and
he beat undefeated Derek Chisora too, which I think was underrated one.
So. You got to put him up there to be number one. And I've also always say that Joshua had 3 belts to 1 when Wilder had it. So I will say the same thing. But the only difference is Wilder has not fought. And he didn't fight no type of talent like Klitschko. He did not fight no.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought up the resume because that's the discussion right now with the with people in the comments is Wilder's resume. So what I want to ask you, Dad, is how much of his lack of proper matchmaking in his career come back? Do you think it came back to harm him in this fight?
Of course it did, because he didn't fight the top dogs that he was supposed to fight or fighters to his level. So because he didn't do that, he avoided to fight the fighters that he had to do. He had to fight and fight all these other, I'm not going to say bums, but because I don't want to disrespect any fighter, but lower class fighters.
Inferior opposition.
Right. It's cost him a lot because, yes, he held that belt, but he didn't fight nobody to contain it. Well, you look at Fury. Fury came out when he fought Klitschko, when he fought Deontay, when he had that condition, and he came back. So he steps up. He's not afraid to take that type of challenges because
I always said in the first fight, and Wilder fans used to crucify me for this, but you can't now because you know it's true. I always said because people always go on about the 12 count in the 12th round. Oh, Jack Reese helped him.
Yeah.
Jack Reese held his hand.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, well, even if that's the case, did Deontay Wilder have over 2 minutes to finish Fury? Why couldn't he finish Fury in the 12th round of that fight? And my reasoning to that was he couldn't finish Tyson Fury because of the lack of quality opposition he had on the way up. He didn't have that extra bit of quality to go and finish the Tyson Fury.
Right.
Had he had the proper matchmaking and opponents come on the way up, then maybe he would have had a chance to get him out in the 12th round. And this conversation is a bit different.
And that's the thing about Fury. Fury, skill-wise, we've always said he's a lot better than Wilder, even though Wilder's been getting better. But there's no way. I mean, Wilder's got to make some changes. He's got to better his game and realize now that he just can't count on that right hand.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, who was it? I was watching it. I watched a lot of the coverage for the fight, and I was watching the gym, JD's and I was reading the comments, and there was this one guy in the comments, and he was talking about how I guess he boxed there, and he was saying that basically these guys are just yes men. They're not really teaching Wilder anything.
Wow.
Breland and JD's. So
I mean that at the end of the day that comes to haunt him. I mean,
and I think it was clear in this fight. Like you saw, Sugar Hill had one training camp with Tyson Fury, and I think Tyson Fury develop more as a fighter in one training camp than Deontay Wilder did in the whole 40+ training camps with JD's and Mark Breland.
Yeah, I mean at the same time token Fury Sugar Hill said that Fury he's not going to make no excuses while he's in this training for Wilder fight about his ankles and his leg getting hurt and all kinds of stuff. He says whatever's going to happen is going to happen. We're just going to roll with it, and that's how the Gypsy King's been like that since he started boxing. That's his philosophy. So kudos to him and kudos to you, BT, because you told me from the beginning that was the best thing he did was change trainers, and it came out to be true.
I told you, because me and him was on the live recently. I was telling my dad because he thought Fury should have been loyal to Ben Davison, and I said, Dad, this is not a matter of loyalty. This is a matter of doing what a man's got to do to win the fight.
Yeah.
And Sugar Hill, as far as I'm concerned, he's the trainer of the year right now.
Yeah.
He's the trainer of the year. I mean, nobody thought that. I
mean, everybody had.
Wilder.
And another thing, not I don't hate on people's preference of what groups, clubs, whatever you believe, whatever. But I don't think that the way Wilder came out with his presentation to me I didn't like it at all. I think it was sending the wrong message to the world.
Be specific on what you're talking about. So he came out.
The Black Panthers.
It had a very LDBC feel to it.
Yeah, the Black Panthers. It had a rapper first talking about the Black Panthers, Black Pride. I forgot the other club. He said named 3 other things in the song, but when you come out and you come out with that type of mentality of singing and rapping and bringing that out, you're gonna cause a lot of division within everybody already before it started. There was no need for that. You believe you want to support the Black Panthers, fine, but just the way you went about it, to me, I think it was offline. He never did it before.
I like what Space Juice said. He said,
well, you know what? I am glad that Fury whipped his ass.
I like Space Jaw. He said Wilder came out like a hoe.
Yeah.
And Sam Greer said, party at BFTV's. Oh, don't you worry, Sam. I'm gonna be paying my main man, our 3-foot friend BFTV. We're gonna pay him a visit real soon. I didn't debate him because he didn't deserve the clout. I gave him enough. He said he liked the promotion, so I let him be happy with the promotion I gave him. But we will be going to BFTV's channel soon to drop a comment because he's a clown. But yeah, man, just this. I'm so happy about this fight. Because not because I don't hate Wilder. I just like the fact that Fury left no stones unturned this fight. There's nothing you can say. Like the most positive thing that happened for Wilder, the whole fight was Fury getting that point deducted by Kenny Bayless.
Yeah.
That was it. That's the only positive from the whole fight.
Yeah.
Besides that, it was just all doom and gloom. Doom, gloom, and blood. That's all it was for him. Right hands.
When I seen all that blood come out, I didn't. Because I honestly think I always say Fury doesn't have that much power, but today he showed me different Fury that I've never seen before.
It's not that he doesn't have a lot of power. I've always said this. People don't listen to me. That's all. It's not about Fury does have power. He just never had to use it because why? Listen. If you can sit out there, box on the outside, use your height, slip move.
Yeah.
Why get hurt?
Yeah, and what's crazy about it is that before the fight was even called up to start whatever, Fury's just chilling on the couch, just joking around, and you got Wilder pacing back.
You got Wilder pacing.
All serious. Yeah. I'm like, brother, this guy's not serious. Then all of a sudden, when it's time, when the lights are about to go,
switch.
Yeah, and he did that. I even told BT, I said, man, Fury looks older too. I mean, not older,
fatter.
It's
not a bodybuilding contest.
Yeah, it's all about throwing the punches and connecting. And I think the best thing that Fury did was pressure him and make him go back.
That's it.
That took him out of his whole. I put him in an uncomfortable state, to be honest with you.
Let me ask you a question, because Deontay Wilder had a lot of, he would say complications, but I call them excuses. And as a man, as a man, we don't make those things after fights. So now, he said he had a lot of things going on with him going into the fight. Well, no shit. It's the biggest heavyweight rematch in the last 18 years. You don't think Fury had a lot of things going on?
That's true.
Going into the fight?
Yeah, I mean,
why is he out here making excuses?
I mean, first of all, he said that when the reporter went out to him, he said, "Yeah, I graciously lost, and that's it. I'm going to go home." And
I was happy with how he started it.
And then when he starts coming out rattling about, "Oh, I had this excuse, this happened." No, son, you got your ass beat. You got exposed. And that's just what it was. And you got exposed when you first fought Fury. You fought him because you thought it was going to be an easy ride in the ballpark, and it turned out to be worse than what you thought. And then you knew coming to this fight, and I told BT all the time, Fury knows him and he knows Fury. Fury's going to take advantage, and that's what happened.
Yeah. So I've seen a couple comments, and I want to ask you this, because for people that don't follow us regularly, they might not know what our pre-fight predictions were. So before this fight started, what was your exact pre-fight prediction?
I have Fury winning by UD.
By UD.
Yeah.
So my dad had Fury get outboxing going to the cards. My pre-fight prediction was Tyson Fury to stop Deontay Wilder in the 5th round. And I was 2 rounds off. And you know what? In the 5th round, Fury dropped Wilder for the second time. And that's probably the one thing I was really impressed with Fury was seeing how not so much just how he was delivering a steady diet of right hands, but also going to the body. Just making himself a presence going to that body and giving Wilder something to worry about. Because I'll say right now, those body shots that he was giving Wilder will wake up tomorrow and he'll be pissing like Ruslan Provodnikov. He'll be pissing black.
Yeah, I mean, because you got to look at it too. Nobody Wilder did not expect that. Didn't expect Fury to come out the same.
Nobody did.
Nobody did. And what I think I like about Fury was, I think Wilder. Matter of fact, I think he would have hurt Wilder more if when Fury was throwing those punches in the corner, was hitting him, he would just hit him shots here, shots here, shots here. If he would have thrown more combinations, he would have finished up Wilder a lot sooner, I think.
A lot sooner.
And thank God that Fury didn't do that. Because Wilder was gassed out. You could tell he was gassed out. And what's funny is, where we were sitting at, we had a whole crowd of Wilder.
Tons of Wilder.
You might say 10 to 2. 10.
Yeah, gangs.
And then, we just stayed there. And as soon as
I talked to one fighter. Yeah. There was a fighter there that I'm really good friends with. I've done videos about him. I've been a young prospect by the name of Lawrence BT Newton. He's a 122-pound prospect. He's like 14-0 with seven knockouts. So I said, "What's up, BT?" He told me he's fighting on the Inoue Casemiro undercard in April. So look out for my boy Lawrence Newton, one of the most talented fighters from South Florida. He's working with Brian McIntyre, Terrence Crawford's trainer. Yep. But he asked me my prediction, and I'm like, I got Fury. And he's like, "Oh, so you think he's gonna outbox him?" I said, "Nope, he's not gonna outbox him." So you think he's gonna stop Wilder? I'm like, 100%. 100% he's stopping Wilder.
Knocking him out.
That's what it is. So
So it happened. I mean,
what do you think Wilder's gonna do now? Like, okay, so let's put our managerial hats on for a second. What do you think Wilder should do with his for his next fight? Does he exercise the rematch clause and believe in himself, and maybe he had a bad leg because he got into a car accident. Okay. Let's just say. Yeah. Does he exercise a third fight, or does he fight an in-house fight, one of the lesser PBC heavyweights? What do you think?
I think he's got to regroup. First of all, he's got to regroup and figure out if he's going to keep the same team, continue with the same team that he's got, or he might have to make some changes too. Where
he needs to,
where he can get his skills up to where they got to be at in order to compete. Because right now, he was throwing all the bombs, but now the Fury threw him a bomb and let him know like your right hand ain't nothing. You know what I mean? So he's got to regroup. I think what he should do. I wouldn't take the fight right away.
Mhm.
I would get a couple fights under me to just get my confidence back and realize that I have to work on my skills a lot more in the gym before I get in there with Fury again. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you get Fury just tore a new asshole on you tonight. Excuse my language. Imagine what he'll do to you the third time around.
Correct. Now, what did I tell you was gonna happen in a while? I said win or lose this fight. Who did I tell you was gonna fight regardless?
What's that again? I'm sorry.
What did I say? I said there's a fighter that I said Wilder's gonna fight next, regardless of whether he wins or loses.
Kanaki.
Adam Kanaki. I genuinely believe Deontay Wilder is going to fight Adam Kanaki in 2020.
Why not, Roy?
Adam Kanaki wins his next fight. But you know, honestly, I'm not saying this to hate. This is not to hate.
Yeah.
But when you're a power puncher like Wilder, his whole reputation, his whole everything he is as a fighter, his whole being as a fighter, is all about being a power puncher, a destructive one-punch knockout artist. When you go into the ring and you fight a guy who you think was pillow-fisted and he beats you up like that, that does a lot to your confidence. That does a lot to psychological, to psyche of your fighter. So any fighter that gets in with Wilder, if they touch him, he's going to have a lot of questions asked to himself. So I'm not even sure they'll put him there with Kanaki.
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you, that he really needs to get back in the gym, decide if he's going to make the changes his team has to make, and really sharpen up on all the skills he's got to. Because by him being exposed, so he was exposed tonight.
Exposed, like a stripper.
He can no longer just rely on. I mean, yes, he's got to whip with the right hand, but he realizes now, hey, I got to add more to my game for me to do something. I might have to go watch a lot more fighters from Fury, a lot of fights from Fury, and learn how he fights and pick up some skills from him. Because he put up gave me some humble pie tonight. So yeah,
man, he gave him humble pie. He gave him a motherfucking humble Thanksgiving. He gave him pumpkin pie. He gave him grits. He gave him macaroni and cheese.
He gave the whole buffet.
He gave him cornbread.
The whole buffet in one. I mean, what more can you say of Fury? He's overcome so much and still proved people wrong.
Well, let's talk about that. So Fury wins the heavyweight title from Vladimir Klitschko in 2015. Then after that, he goes on a just cold, goes on his whole entire goes into he spirals out of control. Just to his own detriment. Balloons at the 400 pounds. We think he's never gonna box again.
Exactly.
All right. Deontay Wilder. What's funny is most people don't realize this, but one of the things that motivated Tyson Fury to come back was Deontay Wilder popping his junk on Instagram saying that he would never box again. It was actually Wilder. People don't remember that.
Wow.
Wilder was actually one of the people that was flapping his gums, popping junk on social media, talking about, he'll never box again.
Yeah, and sure enough.
But here we are. Not only did he box him, but he beat the living piss out of him. All right, and he put the LDBC out of business. I mean, listen, I have it on YouTube. For the 61 of you that are here right now, inform me in the comments. Do any of the LDBC channels exist? Have they went to BitChute? Have they went to Daily Motion? Have they just vanished out the face of the earth? Is BFTB okay?
Loco Gandule.
You damn right, for BC. Me and my pops are absolutely buzzing right now. Yeah. And you know what's crazy? It's 3:32 a.m. This is not an hour that normally we're hype at, but 3:32 we're here. We turned. We turned up.
I mean, it's something in history that this was like my son was telling me during the fight. This is one the heavyweight champion in your generation.
It's the biggest fight in my heavyweight fight in my generation.
And one is never going to be forgotten. And what I was telling my son is one thing that will always live in Deontay Wilder's
in his head
for the rest of his life is that, hey, my first loss was to Tyson Fury.
That's it, man.
The guy that people thought was nothing. That he was going to be easy walk on the park. And it didn't turn out that way. So I mean, I'm telling you, he's really. I hope he gets himself together because I still got a lot of respect for Wilder. But right now, tonight's morning, the UK, Europe, raise your hands and make yourself proud. And
Manchester, stand up.
And let me ask you a question: If Joshua and my son and I were talking about Joshua and Fury would fight, where would you fans would like to see the fight, in America or in the UK?
There's only one place that fight needs to be at. If they fight, if Fury and Joshua, Wembley Stadium, say no more.
Wembley Stadium.
Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Wembley Stadium for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. No questions. We don't want to. I mean, personally, as a fight fan, it doesn't matter. But I believe in doing the right thing. I'm a firm believer in doing the right thing.
Right.
Make the fucking fight at Wembley Stadium. Okay. Put it at there. You know.
UK.
I know that. I listen, guys. I know in the comments. This is obvious that it should be in the UK.
Yeah.
But you know how Eddie Hearn, he wants that oil money. He wants that. Yeah. He wants that Arab money. So.
So the money talks. Be as what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, but that being said, how would you rank the top 5 heavyweights now?
Me?
Who would be
what order?
Yeah.
Okay. Tyson Fury is on his own planet by his own.
Okay.
By his own. There is no competition right now because this is the guy that dethroned Vladimir Klitschko and he took the scalp of Deontay Wilder. And if you want to throw in other wins, he beat Derek and all that like that. So, Tyson Fury, no doubt about it. Okay. After that, it's Anthony Joshua because Anthony Joshua is unified champion. Okay, he's a unified champion.
Okay, yeah,
and he got the belt back from Ruiz.
Right.
He's got a great body of work as far as he's beaten a lot of top contenders and whatnot.
Right.
So he's got to be number 2. Number 3 is where it gets big tricky.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still going to put Wilder at 3. I'm not going to disrespect the former champ like that. And we say former champ because we got to stay up to date with the times. The former champ. So fears with Tyson Fury.
Crazy. Yeah.
Wilder's number 3. Okay. Number 4, I would have Dillian White. And number 5, I would have Andy Ruiz.
Okay. And we were also talking about future rematches for future fights for Wilder. You bring out some certain names out there.
Okay, so listen, guys. I think the only fights that are going to be available for Wilder moving forward are going to be the following. Okay, he's not he's not doing the Fury rematch. Fury beat the piss out of him. If he does, he's going to get beat up even worse. But once he wakes up and comes to his senses and doesn't take the rematch or exercise the clause, the only options I think Al Haymon will present to Wilder are as follows. I think Charles Martin, who won tonight, will be an option because Charles Martin's on a 3-fight win streak. He just won an IBF eliminator, so maybe he could fight Martin, and that could be an IBF eliminator,
right? And
that gets back into title contention. Maybe he can fight Joshua that way. If not that, then I'm gonna say Adam Kanaki, and that's really what I'm seeing.
Yeah, right now.
Maybe if they really want to get him a win, like guaranteed to get him a win, throw him in there with Gerald Washington. Because listen, Gerald Washington looked absolutely piss poor tonight. He looked piss poor.
That was a boring-ass fight, I'll be honest. I didn't enjoy that fight at all. They could have had better fighters than that.
Yeah. And then how does Charles Martin and Gerald Washington become the co-main event on a card that big? I mean,
not even that.
I would scratch my head on that one.
You were telling me about the mandatory or something title holder.
Well, no, it was an eliminator.
That's crazy. So, like, how out of all the heavyweights in the heavyweight division, you got these two guys going at it.
Yeah.
Like, are you really serious?
Well, now we brought it up. What did you make of Charles Martin's performance against Gerald Washington? What did you guys think of Charles Martin's performance against Gerald Washington?
He had it better. I mean, he won the fight. You have to look who he was fighting, so I had him for favorite. But if he gets in there with the top elites of the elites, he's gonna have a lot of problems. I think. Washington. I mean, not Washington.
Martin.
Martin still got that left. That was left, right?
I think Martin's actually improved. I know he fought Gerald Washington, so we won't go too crazy, but I think he's improved. Yeah. That counter, that left hand he threw was perfectly timed. Like, those are things that he didn't have. Like, you go back and you watch, even when he fought Glasgow and when he was on the way up as a prospect, he never had those things. He was just a big, strong guy. Right. He would come for it, bang, 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 and that'd be it. Right. But tonight, you saw some craft from Charles Martin. You saw Charles Martin shield the jab, then come over the top with the counter left hand. And a devastating counter left hand at that dropped Gerald Washington. So
I mean, he's still gonna be
he'll be around.
Yeah,
he'll be around. But do not be surprised if Wilder fights him next. I'm telling you right now, do not be surprised if you see Deontay Wilder versus Charles Martin in 2020.
Charles Martin, why wouldn't? How about him and Andy Ruiz?
Listen, that's a great fight. I would love to see Andy Ruiz versus Deontay Wilder. You know what? Hold on, screw the Andy Ruiz fight. Can we get Deontay Wilder to fight Dillian White? You don't got a title no more, so you can't talk about being a king. You ain't no king. You are now you are now one of the heavyweight division's peasants. You are now a peasant, Deontay Wilder. Wow. And because you are a peasant, you got to fight the other peasants to try to become a king again. So what better way to go there to fight one of the top rated peasants in all boxing, in all the heavyweight division? You fight Dillian White. Because you know what?
But do you think that it is? You think Dylan White's going to do that now since he doesn't have the WBC belt anymore?
Yeah.
What do you think is it? What is it in it for Dylan White?
Well, White might say, well, you know what? F this guy. I got bigger fish to fry, and maybe he finds a way to work out a fight with Tyson Fury. So this might actually want to work out for Dillian White.
How about Big Baby? He hasn't fought nobody.
Maybe he can fight Big Baby.
Yeah, Big Baby Miller. How about that?
I'll definitely get himself a win there.
I mean, and what's going on with Usyk? I haven't heard what's going on with Usyk.
I don't know.
Yeah, so right now, this whole heavyweight division is turned upside down, but my son's been saying the best fight.
I've been saying it for a solid 4 or 5 years. Belts and no belts, Tyson Fury's best heavyweight in the world. And anytime you're acting like Fury beat Lennox Lewis,
what do you think?
Well, no, he's not Lennox Lewis. I'm just here to speak my piece because listen, 2 months ago when I was in the UK, I made a video trolling BFTB boxing.
Yeah.
And he told me to speak my piece. So I didn't speak my piece when he wanted me to on his channel where he likes to silence people. I'm speaking my piece now after his hero got folded up like a blue screen chair. So that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to speak my piece.
Woo! We won't hear for that for a while, will we? We'll find out now. LDPC, I'll be shocked now. They don't know what to think about. I'll disappoint them tonight.
Yeah. Someone wanted to know why I had Tyson Fury #1. Okay, it's very simple. Let's just get incredibly simple.
The resume that. Let's just go right there.
Resume.
Can you say Klitschko?
He beat Vladimir Klitschko when Vladimir Klitschko was in the middle of one of the longest title reigns in the history of boxing. He was meant to beat him. Everybody talks about Anthony Joshua beating him. Listen, I love that fight.
Yeah.
I was live for it here on YouTube. It was an amazing night of boxing. All respect goes to Anthony Joshua for that win. But they want to try to elevate that win over Tyson Fury's win. And no, that's not how it works. Tyson Fury didn't fight him at Wembley Stadium with a bunch of Brits saying, "Oh, Anthony Joshua." No. He didn't have that luxury.
Yeah.
He didn't have that luxury. He fought him. He fought him in Germany, in front of his people, in front of his television network.
Yep.
Okay.
Klitschko's up.
Klitschko, everything was for Klitschko. The ring was for Klitschko. Everything was for Klitschko. And he went in there and he beat him. And yes, was it the Rumble in the Jungle?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't an exciting fight. But it's not about always being an exciting fight.
Yeah.
It's about winning. And he won that fight, and he dethroned Klitschko, and that's how he became the man of the division.
He beat the man with what was it?
If you want to go back before that, okay, everybody talks about Derek Chisora now. Derek Chisora is this, Derek Chisora is that. He's getting better. He's this, he's that. When he was undefeated,
right,
Tyson Fury beat him, and then had a rematch, and he beat him even easier. Okay, so that was another 2 qualities of Fury, and then. Let's take it to now. Yes, we know. Listen, I'm not an idiot. I can tell you guys probably more about Deontay Wilder's resume than you can tell me about Deontay Wilder's resume. I'm very aware that he was very protected. Hence the reason why I said in boxing that he's in a witness protection program in boxing.
Yeah.
How many times, for those of you who watch me, how many times have I said Deontay Wilder is in witness protection?
Yeah.
Okay, I've been saying that.
Yeah.
But he's still the most dangerous puncher in the world. Nobody had beaten him. That they put in front of him. Nobody had beaten him. He was a guy that a certain segment of boxing fans think ducked Anthony Joshua. He was one of the most dangerous fighters out there. He still is. He hurt Tyson Fury. Okay, yeah. He hurt Tyson Fury, dropped him in the 12th round. So he proved himself to be a upper echelon heavyweight, and Tyson Fury took him. And finally, to a different like world. The Rock would say, finally,
yeah,
he exposed him for what he was.
I mean, even the announcers were saying when Fury was pressuring and he was going forward backwards that they even said that Wilder is not used to fighting going backwards. So
no,
and it all showed up, and Fury played his cards right and did what he had to do. So, I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now, I mean, Fury, go party yourself. You deserve it. Take your time, who you want to fight, and like I said, Wilder's gonna have to do some big adjustments. And I think I don't care who he fights, he won't fight the top 3 fighters in the division.
Carlos Padilla asked me, "What do I think about James the Beast Wilson?" You probably know more about James Beast Wilson, but he's a heavyweight prospect from America. He's like a real he's kind of short, he's kind of like the Mike Tyson. Right. He's not Mike Tyson. No. We're not comparing to Mike Tyson, but his body type is kind of
physicalness
close to that.
Yeah.
I'm not really too high on James Wilson. I think he's too damn muscular. I think he's too muscular.
Too stiff?
too damn stiff. I think he could be a good TV fighter, but nothing more than that. But I wish him the best. You know, he seems like a good guy.
Yeah.
Another question somebody asked us was, who's the next heavyweight from America?
We were talking about that just now.
Like, and that's
right here.
that's an interesting topic to kind of unpack because
right now,
for so long, Deontay Wilder had been, you know, sticking his flag in the ground and carrying American heavyweight boxing. Now that he's lost, you know, he'll still be in the picture, but he's not that guy anymore.
Right now,
I mean, who do you have in America? You have what? Trevor Bryan. I mean, Trevor's a friend of the channel, but Trevor Bryan,
he's not getting no chance.
He's not getting any fights because Don King fighters don't get no fights. So it's not Trevor Bryan. You know, Jarrell Miller. Come on, Jarrell Miller.
He can fight Deontay now.
Maybe, but Jarrell Miller. I mean, is Jarrell Miller going to be Tyson Fury, Dillian White, Anthony Joshua? No. Okay, so he's out the equation. Like Cassius Chaney. I like Cassius Chaney, but it's Cassius Chaney.
Yeah.
I mean, the American heavyweights are very.
Right now, we're in trouble.
We're in trouble. But I'll tell you this. If you were looking for the next great American heavyweight, someone that you could follow, I'll give you guys a name that you probably won't hear many people say. I want you guys to keep your eyes out for a young heavyweight. He just turned pro. He was one of the top amateurs in the country. Jared Anderson from Ohio. Okay. He just signed with Top Rank. I think he's like 1-0, 1 KO.
Okay.
Listen, you never know. You never know.
Exactly.
But you know, you got him. You got some other guys in the amateurs. I think will be good. But that's a long, long way away. As far as right now, there's really nobody. I'll be honest with you. There's nobody that I can't say. So listen, to everybody in the UK, listen. And I'm an American. I'm a proud American. I love my country. I love where I'm from.
Yeah.
But UK boxing fans, anybody from the UK, you guys enjoy this period. Enjoy this era of boxing, man, because this is your golden age of heavyweight boxing. You guys have arguably 3 of the top best heavyweights in the world with Fury, Joshua, and Dillian White. Yeah. And right now, I mean, if Fury and Joshua fight, that's going to be the 2 best heavyweights besides Lennox Lewis to ever fight, you know, from the UK, to ever fight each other. So, I mean, you guys are doing the damn thing right now.
You guys are the ones right now with Torch.
Absolutely.
Speak, but we're going to come back. We'll get it going again. So we don't know right now.
Yes, and you know what? We got one of our friends of the channel here right now. We had a great time in the UK, and I respect him dearly. Yeah. God bless him out there in the UK. My main man Raphael Dawkins, Combat Radio. Wagwan, my brethren. I know he's probably happy right now because
he's a big.
When I was in the UK, right? And listen, there's 80-60 here right now. Click on this channel and go subscribe to Raphael Dawkins right now if you haven't done so already.
Wow.
But when I was in the UK, we had a long conversation about the heavyweights. You know, the American heavyweight. Why is the American heavyweight? Take care, Israel. Why is the American heavyweight? You know, not where it's at, where it should be. It's because, you know, I explained to him that, you know, sports like American football, basketball, you know, kids are getting scholarships for this. They're getting scholarships for these things. So why get punched in the face when you can play another sport, maybe have a chance to go pro, and then have something to fall back on? It's a safer option.
Yeah.
So that's just what it is. But yeah, shout out to Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. Good channel, good guy. Corey Taylor said, do you think AJ can beat Tyson Fury? Listen, of course, it's heavyweight boxing.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen in heavyweight boxing. Like he said, but I'm going to tell you, Corey, what I've been telling these Wilder, deluded, parasite, gumball machine, pink skirt, bomb squad, card carrying, you know, people out.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight in the world. Nobody's beating him. If somebody is going to beat him, it's not going to be. I personally, listen, if he proves me wrong, I'll come right here humble myself.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be Anthony Joshua. I can't see it being Anthony Joshua.
Well, you say he's got a weak chin?
No, it's just not weak chin. It's not even a matter of him weak. It's not. It has nothing to do with Anthony Joshua's weaknesses. It just has everything to do with how great I think Tyson Fury is. Same thing from the Wilder fight. It never had anything to do with how bad I thought Wilder was. It had everything to do with how great I thought Tyson Fury was. And the same thing applies to Joshua. Right. Yes, we're here though. It's 3:48 a.m. here in the greatest place in the world, South Florida, Miami, Florida to be exact. It's your boy BT with my props, True School Sports. We're giving you a special, yes, I said it, a special live
How's the reactions over there in the UK? People going crazy?
Yeah, how?
Yeah.
What's it like in the UK, guys? How do you
Crazy over
guys
there?
feel about Fury?
Now that he's got the WC belt, people going crazy or what?
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, Dan. Okay.
Yeah.
So we got a couple young bucks heavyweight that are making their way up.
Okay.
In his current state right now, if Wilder were to fight, I don't know, Daniel Dubois or Philip Hergovic next, I think Hergovic could beat Wilder. I thought before this Hergovic could beat Wilder.
Yeah.
Now I really think Hergovic
Yeah.
could beat Wilder.
Well, you asking me who if Wilder fought Hergovic?
Yeah.
Hergovic is going to run for his money.
Think so?
Yeah. I think he's hungry. He wants to be a big fighter. And he's ready to take on any challenges. And right now, Wilder's just better take whoever comes up right now. He's got to get his confidence back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Corey, you're right. You know, styles make fights. Obviously, Anthony Joshua is not Wilder. He's actually a more polished boxer.
Yeah.
He's got a jab that's improving on a fight-by-fight basis. He's got Angel Fernandez, who's kind of, you know, getting some slickness into the AJ style.
Yeah.
You know, I just think, you know, with AJ, whatever he's going to bring to the table, I just know Fury has an answer for it. If AJ thinks he's going to out jab Fury, then Fury will switch southpaw and show him a new look. If AJ thinks he's going to crowd Fury will either outbox him or beat him in a dogfight. There's nothing in the boxing ring other than power punching that I think AJ can do better than Tyson Fury, and that's just my honest opinion.
And I mean, Fury's pretty quick around the ring and he keeps it moving, whereas Josh was not as, I don't think he's as quick.
Yeah.
Moving as big as Fury is, though, you wouldn't think he'd move around the ring just like that.
One heavyweight we forgot about when mentioning the American heavyweights is Michael Hunter. Can Michael Hunter carry the flag for American heavyweight boxing? I mean, American heavyweight boxing is shambles right now, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, that's a big question with him. I mean, his last fight was decent, but it didn't impress me a lot. So,
Fanboy Killer says Michael Hunter would beat Deontay Wilder. It don't look so crazy right now.
Yeah, I can go for that. Definitely.
So like, what's what's the next fight you want to see for Deontay Wilder? Like, if you could pick, we talk about what we think
we're also
do.
talking about we laugh about it. Well, no, he's already fought King Kong, so that's out of the question. I like to see just Deontay just get fight. Don't fight Joe Washington. Don't put him with Joe Washington. That's a fucking waste. Mm-hmm. Put him with some kind of I can't think right now.
Good night, Johnny.
Yeah.
Raphael says that they're partying in the streets or dancing in the streets in the UK. He says, what a night.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about.
My main man, Henry Brown. We haven't seen Henry.
Tell you what, Tyson Fury. Did he have Tyson Fury winning?
Here we go. Here's what Henry Brown says. Hold on. Let's give him his proper attention.
Yeah, what do you think?
Where is it? Hold on. Put it on the screen.
Yeah.
I want to flash. There you go. I told BT that Fraud Squad was hype. He was running from Briggs. Fury, he's the best until Kanaki or Dubois will mop AJ. Ask Bo, he don't want to lose. So you said like 5 things, Henry. Henry's always here. Henry's always showing love. It's good to have Henry.
Yeah, he said
that boy Wilder don't want no smoke with the big Poshka.
Yeah,
the big Poshka, Adam Kalnaki.
Yeah, well, now, I mean, the facts are in. Fury beat his ass. So I guess you were right all along, Henry.
Yes. You know, on this channel, I always say he folded him up like a blue steel chair, like Chris Jericho on The Rock. That's what Tyson Fury did tonight. But thank you for the $5 super chat, Henry. Great.
But Henry definitely. I could see you were right when you said that. You called it out right, and yeah.
Ooh, Jairo Galvez is you know what, Jairo, you're joking about that, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. Jairo said Bermainster Vern versus Wilder 3.
No.
Yeah.
Hell.
Yeah.
Who's gonna pay to see that?
It don't matter. They gotta massage confidence again.
Oh no, that's gonna wait.
This is gonna be the Deontay Wilder Witness Protection Program 2.0.
No.
2.0. New and improved.
No, I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
No. Hell, Severn, Brendan, please.
Severn.
No.
No? You ain't rock with that?
No. What fan wants to see that again? Who wants to see that?
Does Al Hammond give a damn about the fans? He put Gerald Washington and Charles Morton as a co-main event on Wilder Fury 2.
Yeah, you got a point there.
Come on, man.
I ain't gonna argue that one.
Corey Taylor, I personally don't think there would be a third fight. You know what? Let's talk about this for a second. that was a really bad beating Deontay Wilder took. I think the question we need to ask is, will he even box again? Do you think Deontay Wilder will box? He's 34 years old. He's got a shit ton of money to box Tyson Fury, and he just got beat the hell up like never before.
I mean, it's really what he wants to do.
Do you think he's gonna box again?
I think he will.
Do you will?
I think he wants to come back and redeem himself and prove people that he's still one of the biggest threats in heavyweight boxing with that right hand. It just wasn't his night tonight.
Big shout out to my main man Boxing Now. Make sure you guys also, if you haven't done so already, another friend of the channel. We just saw him in Miami recently. Go subscribe to my boy Boxing Now. In the comments, Boxing Now was one that shot dropped the video. That Pop, remember? Yeah. But he said that Wilder's team said they wanted the third fight ASAP. So perhaps.
I mean, right now, I mean that's what they want,
but of course, I don't care if they said it. Did he say it?
Yeah, exactly. That's the key. And I mean, he probably was upset. Wilder probably was upset that the fight was stopped. But you know what? His health is more important than trying to get killed. Get more serious injury than anything else.
I think he's fighting Charles Martin.
No,
he's fighting Charles Martin. You want to know why? Because look, think about it, right? Let's say he fights Charles Martin his next fight. Then he can say, Charles Martin, I beat Charles Martin when Charles Martin was on a 3-fight winning streak.
Yeah.
On a 3-fight winning streak.
Jeez.
I mean, granted, he didn't beat anybody crazy. He beat what? Gregory Corbin, Daniel Martin, Gerald Washington, but that's what it is. We got my main man again, Henry Brown, with the $5 super chat. By the way, this live is, I guess, it's sponsored by Henry Brown. He says, Fury manhandled Deontay Wilder. Fury should fight AJ for the undisputed to be king of boxing right now since Wilder lost. So is the white fight still good? We touched on that a bit earlier, but
I don't think so. What does Dylan White have? What worth does he have? What he has to gain for fighting Wilder now that he lost the belt that he won?
Yeah, I mean now he's just a peasant like everybody else was when Wilder was champion. Now Wilder's just a peasant, so
I don't think
that's a fight I'm still interested in. I like to see that fight because I know those two genuinely don't like each other.
So it'll be a war.
Wilder's a warrior. White is definitely a warrior.
Yeah.
I got respect for both of the two. It's a good fight for boxing. It's UK versus USA. Why not?
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Yeah. And you know what? It's two of the most devastating punches in the division. So who wouldn't want to see that fight? If you don't want to see that fight, you're not a boxing fan.
Yeah. That'd be a good fight. But like I said, it's up to Dylan White now if he wants to really do that.
Now listen. I'm gonna I want everybody here, if anybody here is in the LDBC, or if you know somebody in the LDBC or you're subscribed, I want you to just go to the LDBC channel and warn them I'm gonna start bombarding the comment section. Because when my boy Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, when Roman Gonzalez got knocked out by Ron Versailles in the rematch, I cannot tell you how many idiots, not just from the LDBC, but from boxing at large, came into my comment section and talked about how bad Roman Gonzalez and how he was hyped up and he was this, he was that. But guess what? Roman Gonzalez was a motherfucking 4-division champion and the pound king of boxing. He's going to the Hall of Fame guaranteed one day.
Facts.
And he might just win a world title next week.
Facts.
Okay?
Facts.
So I'm going to give them the same treatment they gave Roman Gonzalez because guess what? Deontay Wilder, God bless him. Much respect to him.
Yeah.
Fantastic fighter, in my opinion.
Yep.
Roman Gonzalez, Deontay Wilder is not half the fighter Roman Gonzalez will ever be. Straight up, he's not. Right. He's not. It took him 40 plus fights to get in there with an A-level fighter. True. It took him 40 plus fights to do that.
Crazy. And
then when by the 40-something time he did it, he got folded up like a blue steel chair. Better yet, we won't even say a blue steel chair. He got rolled up like a burrito at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Shout out to the number 6.
Do you think that Deontay Wilder betting on himself lost more money than not signing with the Zone?
Oh my God, my
remember that? Yeah, remember that?
I'm hyped right now. I'm hyped.
Yeah.
But listen, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder, Shirley Winkle.
Yeah.
Shelley Finkel.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys had a chance to fight Anthony Joshua in front of 90,000 drunk, spirited Brits at Wembley Stadium.
For how much money?
And you guys turned down $120 million.
Yeah.
Listen, You got a cup somewhere? Hold on, let me get a cup. Let me
Let
get a cup. Let me get a cup.
The whole point that we're
I'm
talking
turned up
about
right
is
now.
that Deontay Wilder betting on himself, and I think he ended up losing.
Look, he betted on himself. This is what happened.
What will you bet yourself?
This is what happened. Look, all right. So this right here, this water bottle. This represents the DAZN money. This represents the money that Anthony Joshua was going to pay Deontay Wilder to fight him for the undisputed championship. And what did Wilder do?
He took it away.
This is what it is now. That's what it is right now. Down the drain. Just like that. Yeah, he could have made life-changing money, and he pissed it all away because he wanted to bet on himself. And you know what? What does he do not too long after that? Like, I mean, a year or so down the road from that meeting.
Oh, my God.
He fires the guy that got off the meeting. He fires Luther Gala.
Oh, my God.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Yeah, so now he gambled on himself, and he ended up losing.
That's it. So now?
I mean, he gained tonight, but he didn't
He gained. We give him that. He gained. I respect
him. About 30, 40 million or 120 million, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, 120 million was nothing. He could have fought for undisputed.
And had that money.
Could have had it.
Already in the bank.
He could have already been undisputed.
Already in the bank. And that's what happened.
Carlos Padilla says, was it true that Wilder was going to pass Ali? Yeah, if he would have won tonight, it would have been his 11th title defense, and technically it would have
broken
put him past Muhammad Ali for the most title defenses.
But the Gypsy King had nothing to do with that.
But Tyson Fury kept the legacy of Muhammad Ali intact. Because could you imagine? Could the fine people in here imagine? All 74 of you. And by the way, if you haven't done so already, make sure you guys subscribe and hit the like button.
Yeah.
Hold on. I want to address a super chat because I think I missed one from Henry Brown. Henry said, here it is. He says, Aura of an Angel, Retro Brown, like, sharing. So there you go. Shout out to Henry Brown with $2 super chats. So we got to acknowledge super chats. And yes, Ringside Stories, Romo Gonzalez is one of the best boxers of the last 15 years, and he is going to the Hall of Fame. But yes, what were we talking about before all that?
Wilder and his money.
Yes, we're talking about Wilder and the money that, you know,
firing the Bay. Yeah.
I mean, he fired the Bella. That's like Dad. Let's say I'm a rapper.
Yeah.
You're my manager.
Right.
I say, Dad. I say, you're my manager.
Right.
I need you to give me shows. You don't get me a show, but you give me a meeting with the people at Madison Square Garden to talk about getting a show. And when the meeting is done and I don't get what I want, I fire you for getting me the meeting. Who does that? Who does that?
That is so crazy.
Unbelievable.
That is so crazy. And that, I mean, they cost him.
But I mean,
I'm sure how many?
Henry Brown with some chat again. He says, wrong. Ali was the champ. Wilder was a trinket. I mean, a title holder.
Yeah, I got a point.
Got a point.
Very good point there.
There you go. Henry Brown let him know.
And Ali was a champ with inside and outside the ring. $120 million.
All right. Roman about to be an even better all-time great next week. Yes, he will. And we'll be there for it.
Yeah, that fight.
We will be there for it.
Yes, sir.
Roman
Gonzalez.
But listen, I like Roman Gonzalez. I can talk about him all day, but tonight is not about Roman Gonzalez. Tonight is about Tyson Fury.
That's it.
Tonight is about Deontay Wilder and their rematch and what it did for boxing. Let's touch on a couple more things.
Sure.
With Wilder's loss now, and listen, oh my God, hold on. I'm so happy right now. I'm so turned right now.
About him fighting Usyk.
Listen, Dad. Listen, like Ricky said, right? Listen.
Yeah.
Al Hammond has no control over the heavyweight division.
None.
Dad, you remember 2 months ago? If Ruiz would have just won that fight against Joshua, he was about to have all the control in the division. But you fast forward, not even 3 months later.
It's true.
Not even 3 months later.
Yeah.
And Al Hammond don't got shit to say in the heavyweight division.
Nothing.
Al Hammond got to tuck his tail between his legs and go way in the back of the line at the DMV with the old lady.
For that we say, thank you, Al.
Thank you, Al Hammond.
You got no champion. No world champion.
Boxing Gnome has an interesting comment. He says, Otto Wallen did more damage to Tyson Fury than Deontay Wilder. That's right. And
That's crazy.
You know what? Hold on. Let me highlight that comment. Yes, Otto King Wallen. We must put respect on Otto King Wallen. You know what? Deontay Wilder is Otto Wallen. There's your fact right there. Deontay Wilder versus Otto Wallen.
Wallen?
You damn right, Deontay Wilder versus Otto Wallen.
Are you serious?
Yes, I want to see Deontay Wilder versus Otto Wallen. I want to see me. I want to see.
But you know he'll probably. You know Wilder's gonna win that.
Do I?
Oh, you're saying no?
Do I know he's gonna win it? I don't know what I think.
You don't know
Because now Deontay Wilder's career really begins now. Now we're gonna see. No more
what's
really inside of here, because he was living his whole career off of right hand. I'm the hardest hitting. You ain't never felt power like mine.
Yeah.
I'm a whole different beast, boy. He was living off all that.
Yeah.
But now he can't live off all that. Now he's gotta find something extra in here, and he's gotta work in here on this here.
Yeah, to get his skills up and everything. I'm telling you.
Wilder versus Tom Schwartz. Good shout. I like to see Wilder versus Tom Schwartz.
Think so?
Yeah. He was ranked number 2 in the WBO. With Tyson Fury fought him. Yeah, man. Carlos Padilla says Wilder should go to the UFC. What'd you say? UFC?
Shit, he can't back up. If he can't back up boxing, how you gonna back up for a drop kick?
Wilder should have took the money.
120
ran. Anthony Joshua.
Don't be surprised if Eddie Hearns doesn't say something.
Eddie, oh my God.
He gotta eat this up.
Oh
now.
my God, he's gonna go insane.
Yeah, Eddie Hearns gonna say something about this match boxing in the zone. If you had just listened to me.
Can I ask you a question? Because Ringside Stories brought up an interesting point.
Yeah.
Do you remember when have you ever heard Deontay Wilder talk about when his grandma said that he was anointed by God?
I remember he said something. Yeah.
Do you think he was anointed tonight in the ring?
Yeah. Bigger God. His name is called the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. He gave it to him. He gave him all he wanted to.
We're not even sure which God Deontay Wilder believes in, because he's got all kinds of kooky views about that stuff. Like he said, I remember he said in the build up to the first fight, he was talking about ancestry spirits entering his body and how he becomes a whole different person on fight. And Tyson Fury looked him right in his face and he said, "Listen, if you gotta have spirits to come to you to win the fight, you lost already.
Oh,
you lost already."
So you already got in his head what you're saying.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's it. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
shout out to Ringside Stories. I agree with you. What you said. If he believes in Christ, Wilder proclaims to, but he does not. Anyway.
Yeah.
Fanboy Killer says Eddie Hearn picked Wilder to actually KO Tyson Fury because he said he had heard things in camp about Fury.
Yeah, I remember he came out and said that, but I guarantee you he was hoping that while he was tired about Wilder not working out the plan, he would not. But now he has to negotiate with Fury, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they have to fight.
Oh, of course.
It'll probably be easier negotiation. You won't go back and forth.
Until Eddie Hearn says, "Yeah, we're gonna take this fight to Saudi Arabia."
Yeah, then it could be all forget
about it. That's exactly what he's gonna do because Eddie Hearn loves money. Eddie Hearn is greedy.
He's got more than enough already.
Why did you think Fury got up in the 12th round of the first fight? Remember that was Fury at 60%. Well, I'm gonna quote the great Emmanuel Stewart. This is why I think Tyson Fury got up in the first fight, because Tyson Fury has a special toughness inside of him that doesn't exist in most fighters. Those are not my words. Those are the words of the great Emmanuel Stewart, arguably the greatest boxing trainer in the history of the sport. And I believe that. And I believe that before the first fight. I believe that after the first fight, and I damn sure believe it after the second fight.
Yeah. And you got Kronk Jim written all over.
Kronk Jim,
you got Emmanuel Stewart.
Detroit stand up. 313 stand up, because Detroit's in the house. Detroit is here.
Came out.
And Kronk Jim is back.
Yeah.
Team Kronk is back. Manny Stewart's, Jim. He's living through the legacy of now Sugar Hill Stewart.
Yep.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about Kronk having a place, active place in boxing?
I think it's an honor to have that. I mean, Dolly had one of the best boxing trainers ever from Detroit, and Emmanuel Stewart, rest in peace. And he actually trained all these other trainers that were with him. He got them to be what they are today. So to see one of his offsprings come up from the Kronk Gym and take Tyson Fury to the level that he needs to get at to beat the Browns bomber is a great thing.
Facts. My man Henry Brown with the $2 super chat. What's my man Henry Brown? He said Floyd Sr. said that Wilder wasn't the hardest puncher. I mean, hey, fair play to him. I still think Wilder got a great claim to being the hardest puncher in heavyweight history.
Yeah.
It's just, being the hardest puncher in heavyweight history doesn't necessarily make you the best heavyweight in the world.
Yeah. And also,
Ernie Shavers didn't win a world title.
And also, A lot of it is where you land your punches at. You don't have to have the hardest punch, but where you land them. Prime example, if I hit you in the equilibrium, or if I hit you where I know it's going to take you off your balance, or take you off your way of thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A certain area.
Okay, Corey Taylor's been asking this question for a minute, so I want to just give him his answer. What if a third fight happens? If Wilder exercises a clause, how do you see it going?
I see the same thing, but worse.
How could it get any worse?
I see
earlier.
I see. Instead of today, Tyson Fury was the bus running over Deontay Wilder. The next time you're going to see it's going to be a train running over Deontay Wilder. What I mean by that is, it's going to, if they fight again, Tyson.
You're retiring him.
Yeah, he's done.
I think so. I think we're retiring him if they fight again.
I don't think. I mean, he exposed him too much. Unless he knows how to fight from going backwards, and
he's not going to one camp
and learn all the boxing skills he needs to learn to get better. Tyson will be a lot for him to handle, and that's just talk. I mean, because Tyson Fury already knows, like I told you, he knows how Wilder fights. He can't just come and bomb rush him because he can figure that out. He can't come with that right bomb because he keeps it. This is away enough so that he can't get hit by his hand. Mm-hmm. So and he pressured him. He changed his game plan. So no, I think it'll be 3 times as bad if they fight again. I'll be honest with you.
3 times as bad.
Yeah, worse.
I'm worse.
Worse. And that's God's given truth.
Okay, there's Carlos Padilla asked a great question. He says, "Do you think a trainer defines a fighter's heart?" What's your take on that?
Well, I think a trainer can go ahead and train the fighter, but it's got to be within the fighter's own heart to decide what type of fighter he wants to be. Mm-hmm. You can go in there and be a big, strong fighter and coach them and do this and do that, but if you don't have the heart of a lion or the heart or the willpower to do it, then it's not going to happen. So mm-hmm. I think the trainer will help you, but it's really the person in yourself to do that.
Mm-hmm. I think the heart is something that's already instilled in a fighter. Your background, your experiences, your experiences in the ring and the rounds in the gym that you're putting in, these things, your heart gets tested, and if you can make it through that, then you have heart. Yeah. Why I think the trainers come in is the trainer's job is to psychologically mold their fighter and make him fight in such a manner that he's relaxed on fight night and he's there to execute a certain game plan. The best trainers in boxing history, if you look at the best trainers in boxing history, Eddie Futch, mm-hmm. Manuel Stewart, right. Or even not that he's not no great trainer yet, but even like a Sugar Hill. These guys aren't rah in your face type of guys. These are guys that in the middle of battle are giving the fighter clear-cut, direct instructions. Right. You know, because sometimes I tell my dad this too about these trainers. Sometimes I'm like, how the hell are these guys trainers? This is serious stuff. These guys is life and death. And you got trainers in there talking about box, be smart.
Oh yeah, we want a fighting card. The guy,
be smart.
It's just like that. Box. Be smart.
What the fuck does that mean?
My son said to me, say, what's he trying to tell him? Because get him all confused.
Like, if you're a trainer, right? Like, you can't tell your guy to box and be smart. He doesn't know what that means. He's in the middle of battle. Yeah. He needs clear-cut instructions. He needs you to tell him, okay, throw a jab, turn to the right, hook and pivot. Yeah. Throw a 1-2, tie him up, spin to the right. Something. Just give clear-cut instructions. Yeah, and a lot of times I watch these fights. Even look, I know you like Ben Davison, right? Yeah. Go back and listen to his instructions because I was watching the fight and I was listening to the instructions. He gives us the same kind of instructions
all the time.
Tyson, use the jab. Don't be greedy. Serious. Go look at the instructions. Tyson, use the jab. Don't be greedy.
You want to be greedy. You want to go ahead and get it. You can swing and hit and throw those punches. That's what you want to do. But you're right what you're saying, though. I mean, the trainers do play a part in the fighter, but I think it all comes to the fighters and their willpower, how they want to, take the fight in the ring.
No, it's like when Wilder beat Sterling in the first fight. You got JDs. You got JDs. This trainer talking about. Yeah. Who can't box? Who can't go 12 rounds? Well, you got your answer. You came about 5 years late, but the answer is Wilder. Wilder couldn't box because You listen. I don't want to disrespect. I don't know the man personally.
Yeah.
I never met JD. Maybe I'll meet him in the future. I'm sure he's a lovely guy.
Yeah.
But based on this is my honest opinion.
Right.
As a boxing fan and somebody who loves the sport, I'm around it all the time. JD's only got to as far as he got as a trainer because he's not. I don't think he's really a great trainer. You get sometimes in boxing, and this happens a lot. You get guys who are good motivators,
right?
And the good motivators sometimes get lucky and get a guy who's extremely athletically gifted,
right?
And that's the case with JD's and Wilder. It's like kind of like Virgil Hunter and Andre Ward,
right?
But on steroids.
Right.
On steroids.
Yeah, their own chemistry and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, because I'll be honest with you. Now, I can't believe I'm saying this. I didn't think I'd come on live about Wilder and Fury tonight and say this, but I think Virgil Hunter is a better trainer than JD's.
Wow.
And for those of you who come on this channel, you know how little I think of Virgil Hunter as a trainer.
Yeah.
Right? Like I mean, this is a guy that went into a corner, and what did he tell his fighter? He said, "You have a family."
Yeah.
He said, "You're a shark in the ocean. You're a shark in the ocean. Be a shark. You got a family."
But, I mean, him and Wilder been together for what? He's been with all the whole time.
His whole career.
So it's up to him. I mean, Joshua stayed with his trainer when everybody wanted to change, but sometimes you gotta make change.
No. He needs a change, and he needs to be brought back slowly. Now, look, I can make some suggestions as a guy I think could train him well. I think, listen. They're not gonna listen to me because I'm just a kid from Daniel with a Manny Pacquiao T-shirt on as well, covers boxing. But, and I said the same thing about Joshua when they were talking about him fighting McCracken. Yeah. I think a good guy for Wilder to train with could be a Stacey McKinley. Yeah, he's trained heavyweights. Yeah, he's been to the top. He's got good heavyweights in his gym for sparring. It'd be the perfect match. I think if he wants to make anything out of his career, he's got to pull the plug and switch trainers. And I think McKinley could be a good shout. What do you guys think in the comments? Let me know. If Wilder canned JD's, which he should.
You think he will?
He should. Not he will. He should.
He's very loyal. That's the problem with him. He's loyalty. Everything.
Who do you think Wilder should train with? Who could fix Deontay Wilder? Or not fix, but fine-tune Wilder. Refine his style. Abel Sanchez. Okay. Abel Sanchez. I mean,
because he's
an aggressive fighter, but... Yeah. Because Wilder lacks fundamentals. Okay. I ain't mad at that one. Or join Fury in the Kronk gym. She says me. You know what? That's what I think. I think our main man, she should be the one training Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder.
A new trainer.
Look at Fury's jab tonight. Wilder doesn't have a jab like that. No, he doesn't. Listen.
No, he doesn't have
and he's never going to have a jab like that. Straight up, he's not.
At some point, you got to learn some type of jab.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But listen, tonight was an exceptional night. I mean, listen, me and my dad, you guys are seeing us here and we're turned up, but I'm turned up for a reason. This was a crazy night. So we'll tell you guys some stories from tonight and hopefully get some amusement out of it. Yeah. So we went to the Delray Beach Boxing Club. And the Delray Beach Boxing Club is this boxing gym here in South Florida where they have a boxing ring. It's a regular boxing gym, but in the back, they have a bar that people kind of like congregate to and watch the fights. Yeah, and there was a good amount of people there tonight.
Yeah, it turned out pretty
good.
Like
Donnie Yusufov was there, the welterweight prospect and gold medalist. Lawrence Newton, Steve Gaffar, those are a couple of fighters that were there. And it's crazy too. They have a boxing ring, and they have couches in the boxing ring. Yeah, so you can watch and then there's like a plasma screen TV, a projector screen that's like this big. It's huge. And people can watch the fight there. So we were there with me, my dad.
Theater size, but huge.
It was me, my dad, and my friend Richie. Now, my friend Richie, God bless him, so I love Richie. But this guy, Richie, man, this guy could drink. I mean, he drinks so much. I think he's British. I think he's British.
Yeah, he said cheers. The first thing he said.
He said cheers.
I'm gonna drink like a guzzle or something.
Yeah. I'm gonna guzzle everything. So listen to this bullshit. So listen to this. Before we even get to the boxing gym. Before we even get there, this man goes to the liquor store, not my dad, but my friend Richie. He buys a whole thing of Hennessy, a whole thing like this. Okay, before the main event even started, he's already down a whole entire bottle of Hennessy.
Crazy, yeah.
Okay, we get to the bar. This guy doesn't order one drink. He doesn't order two drinks. He doesn't order 3 drinks. And to be honest with you, I can't even tell you how many drinks he ordered.
Yeah, I just know.
But he ran up a tab. This guy ran up a tab of over $120 of drinks. Okay?
Crazy.
Insanity. It's just absolute insanity. And he had himself a great time.
Yeah.
In fact, he had such a great time that he sat on a chair. The chair broke. He fell. He fell over the chair.
Better fool himself.
Okay. Then he gets back on the chair. He falls back in my direction. I kind of had to catch him.
Yeah.
But then he knocked the table over. All the beers and stuff smashed on the floor. The whole gym sees
he was
it.
fighting.
You would have swore. And then we straightened him out. He starts clapping. He's like. But yeah, I mean, and then like we go to McDonald's.
Oh my God.
He's drunk off of his behind, and then this guy is like,
it's crazy.
He's arguing with the lady in the drive-thru. Listen, it was a crazy night. It's one I'll never forget. I was really happy.
Good night, but it's crazy with him.
But I would suggest if any of you guys ever come to the South Florida area and there's a boxing fight and there's like a boxing match on a Saturday night, go to the Delray Beach Boxing Club, the Cornerman Social Bar at the Delray Beach Boxing Club. You will love it. It's amazing.
It's relaxing. Yeah. I'm about to crash out. I'm dead tired. You not tired?
I'm turned. You going to sleep?
Yeah, I'm
all right.
Knock out.
He's going to sleep.
Good night, guys.
So everybody say good night to Pops.
I'm dead.
I'm sure when he's more awake, has more energy,
we'll be talking
again. Just so you guys know, I think Tuesday night, me and him will be flying to Dallas, Texas. And what are we flying to Dallas, Texas for? We're flying to Dallas, Texas to see Roman Gonzalez become world champion.
Amen.
To fight Calio 5. So,
good night, guys. Take care.
I'll be here, guys.
Yeah. Oh.
I plan on being here for a good time.
He said.
For a good time. So, yeah, man. This overall was a great night. Overall.
Oh, amount lost.
Oh yeah. So one of the biggest disappointments for me tonight, and it's probably like the biggest disappointment on the card, was Amir Young Master Imam. Now I interviewed Amir Imam recently. He is a friend of the channel. I love Amir. He's a talented fighter as well. He fought Javier Molina tonight. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I saw he got outboxed by him. I heard about the result. And now he's what, 20 and 3, 20 wins, 3 losses. Got stopped against Granados in 2015. And now I think he's been put in that position to where he is now the opponent at 140. And listen, me and him had a long conversation last time I was there at the gym to interview him. And he told me, he said, look, Brendan, top rank is great because they give you opportunities. But, if I lose in a fight like this, I will be the opponent. And he lost in a fight like that. So guess what? He will now be the opponent. So I got to watch the fight before I can really give my opinion. Okay, Henry, I'm doing it right now. Henry says, Lennox Lewis can fix Wilder. Ask Riddick. Oh, my God. Ask Riddick. Bro, you got jokes, Henry. You got some jokes. Oh, my God. I was kind of upset. I'll tell you guys one thing. When they had the whole thing with when they introduced Holyfield and Lewis and Tyson in the ring, I felt some type of way about Riddick Bowe not being there. Obviously Riddick Bowe's my friend. I like Riddick Bowe, but I really felt some type of way about Riddick Bowe not being there. So, I don't know. I would like to know why the hell Riddick Bowe wasn't there, because he was the man. Yeah, I mean, Wilder could come back, but I doubt it'll be right away. I mean, he has to really evaluate himself, his career, his mental well-being. I mean, that's that fight right there, man. That's the kind of fight that changes you forever. And he won't be the same. Mark my words. Deontay with Bronze Bomb Wilder, for better or for worse, will never be the same fighter again. It's like I joked around earlier in the live, and I called Deontay Wilder the Black Sergey Kovalev because he's gonna have the same problems Kovalev experienced when he controversially got stopped by Andre Ward in the rematch. Before Kovalev got stopped in that rematch, he had an aura of invincibility to him. He was the crusher. He was knocking everybody out. Everybody feared him. Most fighters feared him. But when he lost in the rematch to Ward, he lost that about himself, and it made him a more vulnerable fighter. It made him a fighter that was easier to beat, and there was a clear-cut blueprint laid in place by Andre Ward on how to beat Sergey Kovalev. and we saw him get beat again multiple times in his career after that. Against Elliot Alvarez in their first fight, and I have my opinions on the Canelo fight. I thought it was a blatant dive, but he lost to him. So, and the same thing happened with Wilder. Wilder will fight fighters that are not as good as Tyson Fury, the same way Coppola fought fighters that weren't as good as Ward, and there's a good chance he will lose to them. All right, he will lose to them. You might see Deontay Wilder get thrown in there with an Adam Kaunaki, okay, or a Dillian White, or just someone that's of lesser caliber, and he may lose to them. And when that does happen, because I'll be honest with you, his career to me, Deontay Wilder's career to me, it starts right now. It didn't start 40 plus fights ago, and it didn't start tonight. It starts right now, because now for the first time in his career, he's really been found out, and now he has to really show some sort of toughness to him, mental toughness, mental fortitude that great fighters like Manny Pacquiao have shown to lose a fight in devastating fashion, come back and become champion, like Holyfield has in the past, like all the great champions of yesteryear, and like our boy Roman Gonzalez might do when he fights Calvin Fight, Wilder, listen, okay, we got time here on True School Sports, I got time, so listen, let's go down Deontay Wilder's resume, because listen, we know he hasn't fought anybody, that's no secret. He fought Ortiz a couple times, so we'll give him some credit there. He fought a Dominic Brazil who was trained by Virgil Hunter, so did he really fight anybody to begin with? But this is a Deontay Wilder that was fighting the likes of Damon McCreary, and I want to really pick this fight out for you guys. The one fight to me that was one of the biggest jokes of his career came in September of 2012. Okay, Deontay Wilder fights Damon McCreary in Costa Mesa, California. Now, for those of you who don't know, Damon McCreary was a super middleweight. Yes, you heard that correctly. A super middleweight prospect. He got real fat over the years. We talking fat. He got, he was eating Twinkies and cupcakes, and he was going to Nando's, and he was drinking Echo Falls, and he was eating pizza, and he was having arroz con pollo, he was having pie and mash, he was having all these wonderful foods that caused him to balloon up so much. He came into boxing as a solid super middleweight prospect, and a couple years after he turned pro, he found himself as a heavyweight. So Deontay Wilder's team, as they were bringing him along very, very slowly, they figured that this would be a fight to kind of get Deontay Wilder a win. It's a fight against a tough, but fat, unmotivated former super middleweight who ballooned up to heavyweight, and Wilder sparked him. Wilder got him out there in 1 or 2 rounds. But even in that fight, if you go watch it, go check it out. Don't just take my word for it. Even in that fight, Deontay Wilder got, Damon McCreary was able to touch him. He touched him up a couple times. So, and then it was funny, if you go back and watch that fight, this is 2012, so this is like 3 years before Wilder becomes champion, before he becomes, WBC champion. And he actually says in the post-fight interview, oh, there's a new sheriff in town, and his name is Deontay Wilder, and, Vladimir Klitschko, I want you, and all that stuff. And obviously, as many of us know, he didn't fight Klitschko, but Shelley Finkel said that he's a kid. But, Fury fought Klitschko, Joshua fought Klitschko. So, Wilder's, now that he lost, and Sophia is no longer with Deontay Wilder, Wilder is now Sophia's ex-boyfriend. We can now, with 100% clarity, look at the Deontay Wilder's title reign. So let's do it. Let's look at Deontay Wilder's entire title reign, and let's just break it down piece by piece. Piece by piece. Okay. Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Okay, so he wins the heavyweight title on January 17, 2015 against Bermane Stiverne. Stiverne was a fighter that had won the belt vacantly off of Chris Arreola. He was not looked at to be a great heavyweight, but it was one of the first true tests of Wilder's career, because his last 3 fights prior to that were the likes of, Jason Gavern, Malik Scott, Nikolai Fertha. So he had a couple of, I guess names, but nobody to really write home about. But he beats Stavern. After he beats Stavern, he fights Eric Molina in a fight where he was a massive favorite. He couldn't have been more of a favorite against Eric Molina. And Eric Molina in this fight, and I gotta give Eric Molina so much credit because Eric Molina in that fight, he put pressure on Wilder. He was in his chest. He was trying to do what he could do to win the fight. And he actually hurt Wilder, I believe it was in the 8th or 9th round. But he was unable to find that extra bit of energy to finish the job. But he had exposed Wilder. He became really the first man at that level to expose Deontay Wilder. But Wilder came back, he stopped him, so no harm, no foul. He then defends the belt against Jan Duhaupas, a guy who at that particular time was extremely unknown to most boxing fans. And Wilder was extremely wild in this fight. Duhaupas was incredibly tough. And he got a stoppage there. He fights Artur Szpilka, a young upstart heavyweight at the time, Polish. It was a good build-up. You got in his face, you're going down, all that good stuff. And Szpilka, he was in there, he was boxing him. He was, shielding punches, moving, bang, bang, rolling. And, Szpilka had given a good account of himself. He was winning rounds. He was looking good. But he was unable to stay away from the right hand of Deontay Wilder. And, bam, that was it. Then we reach a point in Deontay Wilder's career where I can say myself, this is the point in his career where I began not to like him because he had announced about Alexander Povetkin. The whole Meldonium thing happens. He doesn't fight him. He ducks the fight before any factual evidence could come out about the Meldonium situation with Alexander Povetkin. He then uses that as a means to duck him. He fights a shot Chris Arreola as a late replacement, beats him. He was supposed to fight Andre Warzik in his next fight. Warzik tests positive or something. He fights a late replacement in Gerald Washington, who I thought wasn't a bad opponent at the time. I actually said that was a good win for him because Washington was a good, young, undefeated heavyweight at the time. Okay? Or not young because he's not young, but a good heavyweight at the time. He had never lost. So I thought it was a good win for short notice. Then he fights Bermane Stavern on short. Bermane Stavern, who had been out the ring for almost 2 years. Okay? A guy that should not have even been ranked by the WBC. Not even ranked. And he gets a fight with him because the WBC bent the rules for him. Because Luis Ortiz had something going on with some sort of pain medication. And then the fight was originally supposed to be for Ortiz Wilder on November the 4th of 2017. Ortiz had the pain medication dilemma. They pull him off the card. He gets an easy fight against Stavern in a pointless rematch, and then about 9 days after the fight, Ortiz gets reinstated into the WBC rankings after being removed from the WBC rankings, and then Wilder proceeds to fight Ortiz in the first fight. He beats Ortiz in what at that point in his career was the toughest fight of his career. He then fights Tyson Fury, who had been out the ring for years and years, cocaine, all the, documented things that went on with him. Gets a gift in not getting a loss then and there because he really should have got a loss then and there. And because it was a controversial decision. Tyson Fury did outbox him. Was a great fight, a modern day heavyweight classic, but most people thought Fury won. And then he fights Dominic Brazil, who never had a chance. He had been beaten and battered in fights before against the likes of Ngannou, Anthony Joshua, okay? Slow reflex fighter. Anybody who knew anything about boxing knew that this fight was not going to go that long at all. And it didn't. And it went not even around. But it was a great knockout. And then another pointless rematch with Luis Ortiz happens. And he wins, and looks great doing it towards the end. And then the title reign finally gets put to rest when he fights Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King. So 10 title defense for Wilder. What can we say about his title reign as WBC heavyweight champion? We got to call a spade a spade. I like Wilder, but his reign was very mediocre and pedestrian. It was very mediocre and pedestrian. He's not mediocre pedestrian. I don't think Wilder is mediocre pedestrian because I think his gift is so great. His power punching abilities are so great that it took him this far and it carried him this far. So you gotta give him credit for that. But when we look at the 10 title defenses, and I know you're gonna say, well, it's 10 title defenses, but when we look at the opposition, how he beat them, contextually looking at the circumstances, the fact that he never fought Povetkin in this whole title reign doesn't sit well with me. And maybe that's a fight that's probably a fight he should go look at right now. Because Povetkin's on his way down. Povetkin's still kind of good. Povetkin's got a name in the division. But that's a fight I think he should go take, because that fight, whether you like it or not, was a clear-cut duck. It was a duck, whether you like it or not. Because Joshua fought him. Fuck, Michael Hunter fought him. So why can't Wilder fight him? Especially now. He can't big time. He can't big time, what's his name? Povetkin anymore. So yeah, man, it was a really pedestrian run, to say the least. And that's not even that's just his title reign. And to be honest with you, his title reign is actually an upgrade and an improvement over what he had in the build up to his title reign. Because if you go just looking let's go further back. I'll tell you guys what I mean. If we go look back, if we dig deeper into his resume, I mentioned the Damian McCreary fight, which I thought was one of the worst mismatches, ever. Damian McCreary was a super middleweight who blew up because he couldn't lay off the pies to heavyweight. He was 14-0. He was actually a decent super middleweight prospect at one point in time. He's fighting Deontay Wilder heavyweight. That tells you how much they were protecting him and holding his hand as he came through the ranks. A couple of fights before that, he fought Owen Beck. Now, why is the Owen Beck fight significant? Because the Owen Beck fight was the brawl at the mall. It was at the Killer Buzz Arena in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Deontay Wilder was fighting dudes at the mall. And that's not even me exaggerating. He literally fought a dude at the mall, and his name was Owen Beck. He was 29-10 at the time. Okay? And I mean, there's so many of them. I mean, the best thing I can say for you guys, if you guys ever want any entertainment, just go look at any fights from Deontay Wilder early in his career. I mean, you take 30 minutes because most of them are like first round knockouts. Go look at them because he's really been spoon fed a lot on the way up, and it's really come back to haunt him in the end. So, how will I remember Deontay Wilder as WBC heavyweight champion of 5 years? I will remember him as an extremely entertaining fighter that was the most carefully matched heavyweight champion of the last 20 years. No doubt about it. Probably the most carefully matched heavyweight champion that we've seen in America since, Michael Grant. He was literally, we can't call him Michael Grant 2.0 because I think he went on to have a better, career than Michael Grant. But there's some similarities between Michael Grant and Deontay Wilder. The only similarity that they don't have is that Michael Grant never had a dominant body of work, because in my personal opinion, I think Michael Grant fought in a much better era of heavyweights. So he wasn't really, to really be good in his era, you had to really, 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 really be top of the top. So that's just my opinion on the matter. But my question to you guys would be, how would you remember Deontay Wilder as a heavyweight champion? Leave it in the comments. Smash that like button. Let's get let's get the Henry Brown super chat. He says the following. He says, Ali was WBC undisputed, one title, one champ. Wilder was WBC trinket holder, not undisputed. You must be WBC, WBA, and IBF to be undisputed. Wilder is no champ. Don't forget the WBO. We're not gonna leave the WBO out, because I know PBC is doing that. So it's not just WBA, WBC, and IBF. It's also the WBO. So Henry Brown, I appreciate your input. As always, thanks for the $5 super chat, Henry. It's always great to hear from my main man, 50 grand, Henry Brown. But yeah, Wilder was a trinket holder. So okay, I'll rephrase the question since Henry Brown respectfully corrected me. How will you guys remember Deontay Wilder as the WBC green trinket holder of the last 5 years? I think Ryan Garcia is fake. What do you think? I wouldn't say he's fake. I'm actually starting to like Ryan Garcia. I think he's really improving and getting better as a fighter. I think he's growing as a fighter. I'm still not as high on him as I am as the other American prospects around his weight. Like you got like Tiago Lopez and Shakur Stevenson, who I rate much higher than him. But he's coming along really well. And right now, um, right now, if what's his name, if they fight right now, I'm picking Devin Haney to win. Actually, I don't even know. I'd probably pick Ryan Garcia because I think he's more polished. I think he's like not the more polished fighter, but I think he's the more well-rounded fighter. I think Devin Haney still needs to, grow into his body a bit more. Let's get to another super chat. We got my main man Henry Brown again. He says WBO is officially out. Only 3 titles. Look at the rules. When did that happen? When did the WBO get ruled out? Because as far as I'm concerned, our last undisputed champion in boxing was Alexander Usyk, and he had to get the WBO about to become undisputed. So when did that get ruled out, and how do they determine that? Because I don't remember hearing anything about that. Joe says that apparently Deontay Wilder told Dan Rafael of ESPN that he was injured and he wants a rematch. Interesting. Well, I believe he was injured, but I don't think he was injured because he came in. If I was injured, I'm not believing that bullshit. He was injured because Tyson Fury kept putting him on his ass and kept, handing out rib dinners, kept, dipping to the right, bang, going to the body, just over and over again. So I'm not buying it with Wilder. Wilder said that he was the baddest man on the planet. He said he was the most feared. He said he's the hardest hitting one. So guess what? You said all these things. Well, guess what? We're gonna put them on. We're gonna put all those things on you, and we are going to definitely 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, hold you to those standards. So if you say the baddest man, if you say you hit the hardest, if you say you're the most feared, I don't want to hear anything about you stubbing your toe, injuring your ankle, hurting your index finger. Because guess what? No fighter goes into any fight, especially not a fight of this magnitude, 100%. You get lots of wear and tear in your body from the sparring and training camp, hitting the bag, just everything in camp adds up. So I don't want to hear any excuses from Wilder. Okay, Wilder can go back, like God of War says, Wilder can go back to fighting the Ortizes and the Steverns of the world, because if you're gonna make excuses like that, you're not even worthy to step in the ring with Tyson Fury, straight up. Because tonight, let's be real. If we're being honest about tonight, what we saw was one heavyweight who thought he was great, who thought he was an all-time great, and we saw another heavyweight who knew he was an all-time great. You can't sit here and tell me if you guys were really sitting there watching the body language and just being in the moment of Tyson Fury's ring walk, you can't sit here and tell me that he didn't have the energy of somebody that knew that on the night Wilder could not fuck with him. And I told my dad that. I told my dad when I saw Fury with that crown and I heard the music playing and he got on the chair, I told my dad, I said, look, Pops, that's a guy right there that knows. He doesn't think and he's not hoping. He knows that Deontay Wilder cannot fuck with him. So there you have it. Henry Brown says True School Sports unified champion is defined as a boxer that holds at least 2 world championships of major sanctioning bodies. Okay, but the WBO is still. I'm trying to figure out, Henry, because you said the WBO is not included in undisputed. When did that happen? Because our last undisputed champion was Alexander Usyk, and before that was Terence Crawford, and they both had to capture a WBO title to become undisputed. So I don't know. And my man Ringside Stories, you know what? We're gonna give Ringside Stories a highlight because he is letting you guys know something very important. He says something very important, and this is not no boxing talk. This is practical advice that will help you in your daily life. Okay, and it comes from the good book, the Word. It says, "Pride comes before the destruction," or other translations, it might be "Pride comes before the fall." But that's in Proverbs 16:18. That's the book of wisdom. Okay. Deontay Wilder needs to humble himself. He needs to, stop believing his own hype, because if he keeps believing his own hype, he'll get found out. But thank you for the comment, Ringside. Henry Brown again with another super chat. He says that's only need 3, not 4. Okay, So all right, well Henry, I'm glad you're telling me this because I'm gonna go. I guess after this video's done, I'll go do some homework because I have not heard about this. I've only heard that PBC and Al Heyman were trying to freeze out the WBO from the Undisputed Picture, but I haven't actually seen like where that's at. But you know, I'm glad you said. I'm glad you commented these things, so I can have something to do during the day tomorrow. And I'm sure tomorrow when I have some more energy and after I shoot a couple videos, I'll go live again once I process some more stuff about the fight and more things come out about the fight. I thought King. That's what I'm saying. God of War. Thank you. Undisputed is the WBA, WBO, WBC, and IBF. Like that's Henry been telling me otherwise, but I don't understand why he's telling me that. Now, if I was sitting here saying, well, no, you gotta have the IBO championship as well, then okay, then I can understand because the IBO is not a recognized belt. It's not a recognized belt. I think in the future though, you will see the IBO become a world recognized belt because I've noticed like promoters like and powerful ones at that, like Eddie Hearn, he's out here talking up the IBO belt, and it's a belt that's been around for years. You've seen some of the big names have the belt, but when you start getting the influential, power brokers of the sport to champion the belt and validate it, then that's not a good sign, and it might be recognized as a belt for Undisputed. I don't think now, but I'm saying 10, 15, maybe 20 years down the road, be on the lookout for it. But it's your boy BT. It is 4:44 a.m. here on True School Sports. You know what? When was the last time I was live at 4:44 a.m.? I mean, I can't. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. But yeah, you guys, right now, we pretty much touched on everything we need to touch on. We know Deontay Wilder got exposed. We know Fury beat the piss out of him. We know Wilder should have taken the zone deal. We know the LDBC is probably going out of business and filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy as we speak and jumping off a cliff. So now that we touched on all that, these next 15, 20 minutes, the floor is your guys's. Drop your questions down below. Anything goes. It don't even got to be box related. It can be Tyson Fury. You can ask me about upcoming fights. You can ask me questions about other sports. Whatever you want. Anything goes for 20 minutes. Still Bomb Squad. Hey, shout out to my man Tony Martial. He says he's still Bomb Squad. I respect Tony for that because I'm very sure that once I get around to watching, the LDBC videos, other people's videos, they are going to disown Wilder and they're going to move on to the next heavyweight. They're going to move on the next fighter that they want to get behind and use to spread their propaganda. And I'm anticipating that'll be Errol Spence. It'll definitely be Errol Spence. Carlos Padilla asked me, what is your favorite punch when you spar or box? My favorite punch is no doubt about it, the right hook. I'm a southpaw, so I like to shoot the jab, bang, bang, go right to the body. Bang. Right hook to the body. Right hook to the body, come up with the hook, finish it up with a straight left hand, and then do whatever I want after that. But that's definitely the right hook to the body. It's probably my best punch too. I've been told that by many people. People that I've sparred and Riddick Bowe told me that one time when he told me in the bag. So yeah, definitely my right hook. Henry Brown with a $2 super chat says, "Fraud Squad." Yes, man. Listen, I respect Wilder because he fought Fury twice. He was gonna go out there on a shield, but listen, we call a spade, and everything I said about Wilder for the last however many years was validated tonight. That he was in a witness protection program in the sport of boxing for so many years. I told many people that he was getting stopped this fight. I had people on Facebook tell me I don't know shit about boxing. I had people on YouTube tell me I don't know shit about boxing. And I had people from everywhere tell me I don't know shit about boxing. But guess what? I was only 2 rounds off. And the round that I thought Wilder would get stopped and he got dropped in. So I wasn't far off. So give your boy some credit where credit is due. I have no problem when I'm wrong saying I'm wrong. But when I'm right, let me know I'm right. Okay, we got let me get to the super chat again. Yeah, Henry Brown again. He disrespected Tyson, screwed Deontay Wilder. I mean, yeah, he has been popping a lot of junk about Mike Tyson, but not even just Mike Tyson. A couple years ago, he was talking about Joe Louis. How you gonna disrespect Joe Louis? He was saying that he would knock out Joe Louis if he fought him because he's so much bigger than him and stronger than him because he's a heavyweight from the modern era. And I'm like, bro, that was a harder era back then. If they would have put him in this era, he would have full Wilder up. Maybe even worse than Fury. Okay. Here's a great question from Ringside Stories. He says, "What will Fury do if Wilder doesn't take the immediate rematch?" That's a great question. I think there's only a couple of ways this could go. Okay, now either Fury is going to go for the gusto in the fourth quarter of the year and do an all British fight for the undisputed championship with Anthony Joshua, which to me I think would be the most ideal scenario for myself, for you, and all the boxing fans. But if he doesn't do that, um, I don't see why he doesn't fight Dillian White. Dillian White's WBC mandatory. Dillian White's someone that Fury's been talking about fighting in the past. So I'm thinking he's gonna fight a Brit next. I don't know if it's gonna be Joshua. I don't know if it's gonna be Dillian White, but I anticipate that it'll be one of those two guys. So that's my take on the matter. Um, let's see. Oh, I already read that. Okay. Here we go. Here's a good question from my main man Tony Martial. He says, "True School, do you support Everton?" I support Everton Football Club fervently. I love Everton Football Club. Been a supporter for a couple of years now. I'm gonna say we're going December 16th of this year will make it 4 years. So I've been an Everton supporter for 3 years and some change. Love the club. In fact, I'm gonna get me maybe 2 or 3 hours of rest after this live is done, and I'll be up at 10 o'clock American time, Eastern Standard Time, to watch Everton play Arsenal. Hopefully, get a win. So yes, massive Evertonian. Let's see what we got. Hopefully we get Shakur Stevenson and Josh Warrington at Ellen Road. Yeah, I mean, that'd be a great fight. Ellen Road's obviously an amazing place as far as atmosphere, not just with boxing, but definitely in English football. That's a fight that division needs. Shakur Stevenson is one of the boxing's brightest young talents. Josh Warrington's one of boxing's most proven champions. They're both talking about a unification fight. There's no need to piss about and waste time. So make it happen. Shout out to you, Tony. Shout out to Man United. Okay, we got what we got. Henry Brown says, "Oh please, prep is spreading here. Get XRP plus, vet cryptos, and at True School Sports. Good night, man. Good night, champ. Good night." Oh man, Chase, you an Arsenal fan? You support the Gunners, man? Listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Arsenal, y'all have no defense whatsoever. We're in great form right now. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is absolutely flying. He's playing some amazing football. Bernard's getting into form. Richarlison getting into form. You cannot. No way in hell is Everton gonna go to the Emirates to lose, not score a goal. We might lose. We're not gonna not score a goal. So if you're gonna win, If you are gonna win, it'll be more like 3-1, 2-1, something like that. But not 2-1, 2-0. You guys don't have the defense to keep us off the score sheet. But best of luck to the Gunners. You guys are gonna need it. So will we. SSB28. Shout out to SSB28. He says, "Did you check the ESPN website? The front page is Fury versus AJ. I think ESPN is already starting to plan." Well, that's a good idea. It's gonna be a big fight, so why not get things started? Get everything started. And to be honest with you guys, I haven't seen anything. My night was like I went to the bar, um, had a great time, watched the fight. After that, drove back because it was kind of far from where I live. and then I came on here and I just been live. So I haven't checked my social media yet. I haven't begun to harass anybody about being wrong. I haven't done anything, so I haven't had a chance to see the ESPN website. But that's good to see. It's good to see that boxing is dominating the headlines. That's good for our sport. Yes, Arsenal does have Mikel Arteta. Hey, he went to the wrong club, but we got Carlo Ancelotti. We got Carlo Ancelotti as the Evertonian, so I'm happy about that. Having a manager like him as just the leader of Everton Football Club, it's a massive deal, huge. Um, Somebody really gave Wilder the second round. I didn't realize that when I was watching the fight. I mean, Wilder to me, I don't think Wilder won a round. Period. He didn't win no rounds. He won no rounds. I also saw not to bounce from top of the topic, but I saw that Rolando Amiro, a prospect, he fought on the undercard on the prelims. He fought somebody from South Florida that I know that I know his trainer. Fought some Latvian kid, and I've seen him around the gyms and stuff, and he beat the hell out of me. Second round stoppage. Shout out to Rolando Amiro. He's progressed up the ranks. I believe now he's like 10 11 and 0, I think, with 8 knockouts, something like that. So he gets another win. Good for him. Shout out to Rolly. SSB28 says that Wilder's performance was worse than what Ruiz did in Saudi Arabia. People on Twitter are saying Wilder was worse than Ruiz. And you know what? I think it's fair to say that. And you know what? I better hear the LDBC hold their boy accountable. They need to. They need to, because all I heard for months after Ruiz was that he was fat, he was a disgrace to the sport, all these things. But, I mean, Wilder tonight, I'm not going to call him a disgrace to the sport, but he was clearly no match for Tyson Fury. He was definitely not on the level of Tyson Fury. So his performance tonight invalidated everything Tyson Fury was saying in the build-up. That when he's match fit, he doesn't have a chance. And we saw. The fight didn't expose anything. He just knew that Wilder was technically trash forever. Yeah, we've all known that, but he really, really further exposed him. Roy looked like trash. What the fuck? He was flat-footed with his chin in the air, with wild swinging punches. It's disappointing. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch any of the prelim fights. So I don't know how Amir Imam looked against Javier Molina. I don't know how Roy looked. I just saw the results. Yeah, and I said that because everybody was saying, well, Tyson Fury, he's 274, so he's fat. He's not gonna be able to move. But I'm like, what I told people was, this guy was 400 plus pounds. What the hell is 273? He's gonna carry that just fine. It's Wilder you need to worry about, because Wilder's coming into this fight looking like a freaking NFL tight end, and he shouldn't be looking like an NFL tight end. He should be, what he normally was. Had he been his normal 215, maybe 220, somewhere close to that, then maybe he would have had a better chance to beat Fury and be more effective, because guess what? There would have been more speed in his punches. It would have been easier for him to cut and close the gap, but unfortunately that wasn't the case for Deontay Wilder. So, hopefully for his sake he learns and doesn't do it again, so he can be the best version of himself as his career progresses. Yeah, I heard the same thing, Sam. And by the way, Sam, great to see you in here. I feel like I haven't seen you. I think I'm talking to the right person, but good to see you in here again, Sam. Yeah, Wilder broke his jaw. He popped his ear. It all went wrong for Wilder tonight. It all went wrong for him. Hopefully, I hope he's okay. I always bet on nobody. I hope he can recuperate quickly, enjoy his time with his family, enjoy the money he made from this fight. And listen, I'm gonna get off this live soon, not yet, but before I get off this live, because listen, I've said a lot of things about Wilder, and I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't think he's the greatest fighter in the world. I do think his fans have done a really great job of hyping him up to the end, to the point of no return, to where they've almost worshipped Deontay Wilder as a deity the last, I don't know, however many years he's been champion. But I want to take the time to talk positive about Wilder, because we should actually celebrate how far he's come in his life, because it's actually a true success story. I mean, when we talk about Deontay Wilder, we're talking about a guy who at one point in time was your everyday schmuck, your Joe Schmo. He had a job at IHOP, a 6'7" guy working at IHOP. I mean, what the hell is he doing at IHOP? But he worked at IHOP. He drove a beer truck. He carried beer kegs around. He had multiple jobs. Okay, he had a daughter really young. You know, that's why you gotta be disciplined and not, not give yourself over to these women so easily. But he had a daughter young. She had spina bifida, a really uncommon illness for people, and he took he went from that. He went from working 3 jobs just to feed his daughter, and he went from being a guy who came into boxing because he'll tell you himself. If you watch enough of his interviews, Deontay Wilder wanted to be a journeyman just to get some money for his daughter, and he took that and he parlayed it into a boxing career where he wasn't just a title holder for one defense, but 10 defenses. And whether you agree with the opposition or not, I mean, he gave boxing fans a lot of great moments within those 10 title defenses, and that cannot be denied, nor can it ever be taken away from Deontay Wilder. And I think that's to be celebrated when we see a man who faces a lot of adversity in life and comes from one end of the spectrum, from being poor to being a young father, to being a guy who was looking for a career in boxing, is walking to a boxing gym, trying to find himself in life, and he found himself in life. And he found something that, okay, is he as great as Tyson Fury at boxing? Absolutely not. But he's still better than the majority of the world that picks up boxing gloves. And he's made a living for himself. He's done well for himself, and he's really brought excitement back to heavyweight division. Like, I'm an American, right? I'm a proud American. I'm from South Florida, from Dania Beach to be exact. But this is a guy that at a time when the American heavyweight was dead, and to be honest with you, even though he lost, he's still probably the best American heavyweight by a country mile. He injected a lot of life into the division. He did. He injected a lot of life into this division, with sensational knockouts, with unforgettable sound bites, with trademark ring walks. I mean, Deontay Wilder came into the American heavyweight boxing scene when the American heavyweight boxing scene was on a respirator, and we needed somebody in America to fly the flag high, to just take his personality, take the positive attributes of himself, and inject it into boxing, and that's what he did. To this day, and I have no doubt about that. He'll still be a somewhat of a factor in the division. And listen, I've said a lot of shit about Deontay Wilder over the years, but honestly, most of the time when I talk shit about Wilder, it's mainly just to rile his fans up. I don't actually hate the guy. I actually like him. I've gone to his fights. I was there for the Stavern rematch. It was one of the most exciting sporting events I've ever been to in my life. And if I could relive that night over and over again, I would, because it was that exciting. But I want before I leave this live, we're gonna all have our opinions on him as boxing fans. And I know Wilder has said a lot of things that we don't agree with. A lot of times he plays into the race baiting that goes on in boxing. Like, for example, Andres Hale, Sporting News this week, he asked him a question about Black History Month, and Wilder took the bait. And there were journalists at this fight this weekend during fight week that were trying to stir this fight up into being a race war and trying to politicize what didn't deserve to be politicized. This was an event between two of the best heavyweights of their generation in one of the biggest fights of their generation, putting it all on the line, and he was a part of that. And he was a great dance partner for what were two unforgettable fights, for two different reasons, but two unforgettable fights. So I want to take this time to say, God bless Deontay Wilder. God bless his health, his family. God bless his career, because I'm not gonna sit here and shit on the guy. I've made so many videos on Deontay Wilder over the years. I mean, literally, you can go back. I got videos about Wilder dating all the way back to 2015, from when he won the title from Stavern. And I can actually say that I'm probably one of the few boxing channels on YouTube that has documented Wilder's career from the Stavern, from him winning the title against Stavern to right now, to this very day, So I've been covering his career for about a good 5 years here on YouTube. I respect the guy. I respect what he's doing with his life, and that's to be celebrated. And I hope now that he's lost, he can humble himself more, and he could actually begin to tell that story more. I know he tells that story, but I don't think he tells it enough to where it's gonna get out there in the public. A lot of times the image Wilder's portraying is that of somebody who's angry. Okay, somebody who's angry and somebody who's fighting on behalf of a race he believes is oppressed in this country. Okay, and that's what he believes, and that sometimes those are some of the things that turn people off of Wilder, and it's one of the main reasons I think it's one of the couple reasons I think he hasn't really. I mean, he's more popular now, but it's one of the main reasons I feel like he struggled to become a household name for so long in America. But who I believe Deontay Wilder really is, because I'm someone that likes to be optimistic, sometimes too much my own detriment. I look at Deontay Wilder as a man who had no direction in life. He walked into a boxing gym. He got direction in life. He took that direction in life, became a heavyweight champion or heavyweight title holder. From being a heavyweight title holder, he gave himself a life that he would have never got anywhere else. And he gave his family a life that they couldn't have envisioned. And for that, that's a beautiful story. For that, all we can say is God bless him. For all the great moments he gave us, all we can say is God bless him. And, obviously, I want Fury to win. I'm very happy with the outcome. But I also want to take the time to say, you know what? Deontay Wilder has given us, the fight fans, so many memories. And we just have to say thank you to him. So I'm gonna leave it on that note, on a positive note, because I spent a lot of time just saying a lot of things and being tense up. But listen, I respect all fighters because I never boxed as a pro. I never had an amateur fight, but I've sparred in the ring. I've done rounds in the ring with I've sparred one or two guys in my area that I've gone pro. Nobody you guys know, but I've sparred pros, not like big time pros, but pros. I sparred pros, and I've held my own with these pros. So, and I've been punched in the mouth, and I've been cut, and I've had my nose busted up, had my lip busted up. I've busted their lips. I've dropped them. They dropped me. I've experienced, both sides of the spectrum of being a fighter, and I understand like this much of what being a fighter. I'll never understand what it means to fight at that level because I'm not going to be a professional fighter. I'm not going to fight on an ESPN, Fox co-promotion. Okay, I couldn't imagine fighting under that kind of pressure. So I respect Deontay Wilder to go from a guy who had no direction in life to fighting on the biggest heavyweight fight of the last 15 years. That's a big jump in life, and you got to respect that. To be honest with you guys, I was watching the fight with my dad at the bar, and I was telling him, I was like, man, I'm getting nervous just watching this. Like before the ring walk said, like I remember telling my dad watching it, I'm like, man, I'm getting nervous and I'm getting goosebumps just waiting for the ring walks. I can't imagine what the fighters are going through. I couldn't imagine what Wilder was going through. I couldn't imagine what Fury was going through. And a lot of us will never fully understand that, but I felt, but I do understand on an extremely small level what fighters go through. And I've had the opportunity over the last couple of years just doing this here on YouTube to befriend a couple of fighters you guys may know. Adrian Granados, good friend of mine. Isaac Chamberlain, good friend of mine. And a Wilder sparring partner, good friend of mine. I talk to Isaac Chamberlain like at least 2 to 3 times every week on Instagram. Just to name a couple, I love those guys dearly. And these guys have given me so much insight into the fight game by letting me into their lives as their friend and trusting me to talk to me about some very deep and personal things. So I got nothing but love for the likes of Adrian Granados and Isaac Chamberlain and guys like Bad Blake Davis. And these are my friends in boxing. And because of them, I understand. Because of them, my limited experience in the ring, I have a very deep understanding for boxing. And that's why I'm not going to, even though I'm happy with what happened, I'm not going to shit on Deontay Wilder or any of that because, I do respect them and I do respect his journey to where he's gotten to. So we're going to leave it at that. I'm going to address one more comment and then we're out. My man Roberto Nice says, I remember you said Riddick Bowe would destroy Wilder and people were criticizing you, but you were spot on. Yeah, man, listen. I was telling my dad too during the fight that Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury tonight fought Deontay Wilder the same way Riddick Bowe told me he would have fought Wilder. going to the body, giving him a steady down right hands, making him fight out the back foot, pressing the action. These things, these are all things that Riddick both did naturally and did well. And you saw Fury do it tonight with a lot of success. So, you know, I knew I was right about the fight, but I appreciate your brother for humbling yourself and coming here. And dropping a comment. But on that note, thank you, brother. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to all 43 of you that are still here. Thank you to everybody who stopped by. Thank you to everybody who continues to support the channel. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't done so, we got a lot of great things coming out on the channel. Me and my dad will be at Roman Gonzalez versus Calia Phi next weekend. That's the next fight. So hopefully we get some good live exclusive stuff there. But aside from that, I'm going to have more Wilder Fury post-fight coverage tomorrow. I'm going to shoot a couple of videos. Then I'm going to go live probably again tomorrow when I process more of this. But it was great being out here with you guys. Thank you for everybody who took the time to support the channel. Thank you to everybody who continues to support the channel because, you know, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't make a ton of money doing this. Like, I could go get a regular job. And, you know, but then it would take away from this. But I'd rather be, to be honest with you, I would rather have less money and do this than have more money or have just enough money to survive and be miserable. Because I've done that before where I've had 9-to-5 jobs and, you know, I've been miserable because I'm missing boxing. And there's sometimes where I'm doing the boxing and I don't have as much money, but I'm happy. I'm just happy. I'm joyful about it. So with that being said, we're not going to ramble too much longer. Thank you guys. Like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just giving days. So until next time, take care, guys.